honor them.
Days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee.
And you honor them, why? Because go back to what my brother just read in Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter. You honor them because whose obligation is it? See, that's what we're really talking about. See? And things have not been taught right. I remember that she had. And I tell her, I said, Ma, after so long, you can't be staying up all night worrying about us. Grown children. We 40, we 50, almost 60, and you can't be worried about what we doing. At some point, you can't burden yourself with that. Because we know what to do. We ain't babies no more. When we were babies, you could totally worry and burden yourself with, but we're not babies no more. Because she wants to come back in this house and take care of. Huh? Huh?
Right.
Come on, y'all talk to me.
Hallelujah.
Y'all know me. Y'all put the question out there. Don't want no shit on that. Talk to me. If that's the case, that's exactly what needs to happen. All that good stuff, and I need all over again.
No.
And that's what's wrong. You got that 18, 17 decisions. One, they make them on their own truth and it hurt them, but it does affect everything around you.
Yes, sir.
Because there's something called cause and effect. I said the world is,
yes, it is,
in terms that you might not go to Thailand or Italy or Germany, but the world is small. And the effect that something that's going on in Germany eventually reaches its way around to my home step right here.
yes,
It's going to affect how the Almighty created things.
Hallelujah.
They have a tie and an effect. The weather pattern. It's not a weather pattern out of the jet blue. It's a weather pattern because somebody have done something cause, stay with that, cause the effects of what he laid out, the wisdom of what he laid out. It will provide you with good things. When you stray away from that, you'll cause bad. And I know in our youth, because we're young and we don't want to really look at, because I was there, and we say, they're riding my back. But we just trying to tell you what, yeah, we do know. We know what you don't know. We do know everything. We know everything that you don't know. That's what we know.
Hallelujah.
Because there's cause and there's effect. From picking the wrong partner.
Yes. Mad.
Now you could think Brother Aaron don't know what he's talking about if you want to. But he does.
Right.
There's cause and effect.
Yes, sir.
Where the family dynamics can't even be right.
All right.
Some folks over here, hot, you would like to throw functions where you can blend the whole family, and you can't, because you know this person can't really stomach that person, or they just rub them the wrong kind of way. There's cause and effect of everything. But you don't have to. Because again, scripture, every man has free will. So you don't have to. But like I said, my beautiful 78-year-old mother told me that a hard head. Thank you.
Every time.
Hear me. Listen. Be quiet. Listen. Process it. Consider it. Not just hear it, but listen.
To love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently.
How?
Diligently.
How?
Diligently.
Anything you do diligently. I can't say I took this and put it over here one time, and that's diligent.
Right. No.
That's a one-time thing.
That's right.
It's only diligent that I'm keep on doing it. That's called diligence. That's called another word or synonym, perseverance.
Hallelujah.
That's why you must be, this must daily be reinforced. Don't think you can tell them one time and raising them and they got it.
All right.
Like that. It's repetition. This upon this upon. That's why you turn and you read everywhere. You say, man, I'm tired of reading about this. But it's everywhere because you don't get nothing. Go out one day. I got the jab down now. Next week, get in the ring. I got the jab down. He's slipping. Bop. Didn't work. But you wouldn't train one day. Now, all the other 2 months you got to train for, you just kick it with your boys. You just chumming it up. And beating even. Ha. He getting beat up by his sparring partner. Corner people be like, he gonna get killed. Oh, his sparring partner beat him up. Then he get in the ring and wax you up. They be like, what happened? Oh, he didn't train.
All right.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
He didn't persevere.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That's why I said it's tiresome. So somebody has to have grandparents. The diligence is on your part.
Hallelujah.
Yes, it's tired. Because you done did that. You doing that. I done raised mine. Credit says to the parents, you should do what?
Teach them diligently.
Because they with you.
Thy children.
Because they supposed to be with you.
Hallelujah.
See, all this is in the dynamic. If you ain't ready to provide a place where they can be with you and do what it takes for them to be with you. Start early. But I'll say it again. You don't need to have none. Like I told this brother we were talking earlier. See, I don't have to worry about fanfare though. And I understand that it's a crooked system.
Yes.
I understand they don't do everything to railroad you.
Yes, they is.
But if I had that wisdom, if I had that knowledge, and if I had that understanding, then why lay down and have any at all?
All right.
I think I'm maybe making too.
Right on.
You've
cue,
invited
right?
the devil
Right on cue.
to the lookout.
That's right.
Then want to holler when he get there that he's spoiling everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are things that you're supposed to put in place. And I could teach it. See, I'm not teaching to some, and we always teach. It ain't no law. Well, it's not. Because, yeah, she might. But it's in the letter of the law. That's why the Creator have it written. And when you divorce her, she should go from your house. When you read Father Abraham brought his son, or saw the son and wife, can he go back with her? No.
No.
She must come here. 10. This is good.
Yes, sir.
Things in place. Things in proper order.
Yes, sir.
But we are people that for a long season been doing things out of order. And you stand maybe with the grandparents. And they believe in Christianity. And that's what they use in their home. And you stand with them. And you're going to order them around? Tell them what to teach them. I need to do something different with you. So therefore you need to get ye out of your father's house.
All right.
and build your own house.
Yes, sir.
So you can exercise your own standards I'm about to give you. You can exercise them in your house, because no matter what, I've given this you the honor, and you are not to rise up above your father in his own house. And I won't have it. But we're going to let you get it. And then I'm going to tell you what and how I want you to run yours. Because like I was told when I was coming up, and I always told, if you don't like what's going on here,
you need to know.
that always cured everything.
And they ain't hesitate.
And they ain't hesitate.
I'm gone, Pop.
But they should be with you. And now when you sit at where?
In the house.
Where?
In the house.
In the house. When y'all are together. When you sit in your house.
And when thou walkest by the way.
When y'all just kicking it.
And when thou.
Before you get ready to go to bed.
And when thou rises up.
When you rise up. What?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
All day.
This is the job given to who?
Parents.
The parents. When we go to the book of Proverbs. Go to Proverbs.
Hallelujah. The class on.
Same boat.
We gotta move. We move a hustle.
Move so quick. Say Proverbs. I'm trying to get down then, boy. When you went over this one before. But the first 7 repeat itself with phrases and verses like this. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 8.
Hallelujah. My son.
My son.
Instruction of thy father.
My son. Here it is, my son. My son. That I had.
Yes, sir.
That I asked the Almighty for. Right. My son. That he gave me.
Proverbs chapter 1.
Huh?
Verse 8.
Here what? When he said, I'm not your child role model.
Right.
And everybody blew up. Oh, he ain't had no reason to say he is a role model. Maybe he is. In the realm that he played basketball and do what he do on TV. But he should not have greater sway over your child than you, who are with him every single day. His first role model should be the person that bore him.
Yes, sir.
All you know about this man is that he dribble a ball, throw a ball, and he catch a ball, or he run fast. But that don't tell you nothing else about it.
No.
Raise your child.
No, don't.
You send him to his camps all you want to. That don't help him raise your child. That's you. That's why he says again, the 1 verse 8.
My
son,
hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake the law of thy mother.
For
they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
My son, if thou wilt receive my word,
Piece it again.
And hide my
listen to me and you'll become wise.
Hallelujah.
And not only that, apply your heart. What I tell you, not only will it make you wise, but apply your heart to understanding.
Hallelujah.
Yea, if you cry after knowledge and lift up your voice for understanding. If you search for her as what?
As silver,
And search for her as
for hidden treasures,
then
shalt thou understand and fear of Yahweh and find the knowledge of Elohim.
for Yah.
Giving wisdom out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding.
For Yah giveth wisdom. Stop. Then it says, and out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding.
Hallelujah.
Chapter 3, verse 1.
My son,
What?
my son,
My son.
forget not my law.
That's why I pour so much, and my laws are given to me from my Father on high, the Most High Yah. Forget not my law.
But let thy heart keep my commandments.
For what?
For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
In this word, let
Bind them about thy neck, and write them upon the table of thy heart.
chapter 4.
Hear, ye children.
The what?
The
It is instruction what?
Listen,
Of the Father.
and attend
Mhm.
to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law.
Yeah, nobody trying to cramp your style. We're trying to tell you things that's going to help you, that's going to prosper you.
Hallelujah.
Like I heard earlier, I know what you experienced because I was there and I know how horrible that is. I'm repeating what I went down. Because then another generation gonna repeat it. And I gotta look at another generation suffer like you and I have suffered. And I'm tired of watching us suffer.
All right.
I'm tired of watching us not have what we should have.
Yes, sir.
And you're
Hallelujah.
too trifling and irresponsible and lazy and distracted to do so.
All right. Ship.
Anger at you that I don't and you simply won't. Listening to a bunch of foolish people and foolish things and thinking that's going to prosper. And in the end, you're going to be high and you're going to be dry. And they're going to be gone. And you're going to look around and achieve. And the only answer you're going to be able to give yourself is a big fat zero. By Shalom. Is a big fat zero. Not only that, you're going to always be in the hands of somebody else. Don't you get tired of being in the hands of somebody else.
Yes. Hallelujah.
For forsaking wisdom and doing things wrong, don't you get tired of receiving from the hands of somebody else.
Yes, sir.
Well, you got to come see me.
Hallelujah.
And I got to interview you. And I got to tell you if you're wrong or right. So I can give you this assistance. Because if you don't get this from me, then you won't survive. Don't you get tired of that.
Yes.
That can free you from that.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Well, you can't get it if you don't get up and go at it.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chapter 5. And
Yes,
I don't
sir.
mind never
Proverbs
upsetting young.
chapter 5.
I don't mind never upsetting young folks with this. Men do it. Well, that's all the more reason for you to do it.
That's right.
That's why I want you to have it, because I know.
If you see I didn't do it, I challenge you then. Do better than me.
All right.
You always talk about somebody telling manhood. Well, do better than me then.
All right.
No problem. But they ain't doing it. Okay, so what? What's that about you? You're not going to do it because they don't do it. Johnny don't come to work. Well, good. I mean, I call off.
Nope.
Johnny don't come. He ain't come to work 3 times. It's good. I don't know what to tell you about Johnny. I know out here. Now I can go out and I can floss.
Yes, sir.
I can cut up. While Johnny's sitting somewhere, who's going to
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what I tell him, don't worry about your buddies. But when they suffering, If you listen to me, I'm be like, hey. So don't try to worry about them. That's why I love our the relationship. You know, he come home and he tell me things. He said, man, they, oh man, oh man, man, oh man, what? You oughta. Go ahead. Do. They ain't doing nothing. You do. I played that game. Where y'all at? Nah. Chapter 5. What did he say?
My son, attend unto my wisdom.
My son.
And bow thy ear to my understanding. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm. They might have discretion.
And that thy lips may keep knowledge.
That your lips keep knowledge.
For the lips of a strange woman drop its honeycomb.
So see, you need knowledge.
Yes, sir.
To combat the strange woman.
Hallelujah.
I'll clap for this one. But it's true.
If it's true.
Yes, sir.
Especially, but I'm gonna tell you what kind of young man, so the men ain't gonna be clapping in a minute. But sometimes young men get seduced.
Yes. Yes,
They
sir.
get seduced.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they get seduced. Huh? These ball players, after they flash their little mug up on TV, he was drafted, overall pick, first round, number 5.
Yeah.
And girl said, what that mean? That mean he gonna get paid, girl. They start strategizing. And they go on the little backside boy, don't really know nothing, ain't really been exposed to the world. They go hunting.
Yeah.
And they use honey.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh. What's your name? My name is such. Oh, you're so strong. You look like you're probably the best player on the team. If they have told me I'm pretty good. Oh, all the honey that she spread on. Me and my show watching the show last night where they putting butter over the meat that they was grilling. My son, he just stopped in the chase and man, that dude look good. He said, oh man. I said, yeah. But I couldn't lie. I sat there and said, man, that don't look good. Oh, they smooth that butter on there. Is a parquet. Wait, or what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because then you'll have what they call discretion. So that you don't be a simpleton and be caught. Because that's what it says. Go to chapter 9.
Hallelujah. Proverbs chapter 9.
This is what wisdom do. And you should be getting wisdom first and foremost. Then if grandma and grandpa had to step in and say, well, what did your daddy tell you? Well, he thought, well, your daddy right.
All right.
That's called a reinforced front.
Hallelujah.
So you ain't even learned them down there. It's called a reinforced front.
Yes,
what did your father, go ahead, daddy, what did your father as a mother? That's what I say.
That's right.
That's called a reinforced front. Damn, now I can't get and go to run the mile. I can't pit them against each other. You see. Is that what he said? Yeah. Well, then that's what it. But they soon.
Right.
Huh? Now they might try to turn and go to grandpa, mom, and grandpa. And they, in wisdom, will say, what'd your parents say? They said, can't go to a party. Well, that's what we saying. What you come, it's funny you want to spend the night over here this weekend. You never else want to out the other weekend. We know why now. You can come over here so you can go to that party that they told you couldn't go to. Wrong. You can't go. And we calling up your mom and dad to tell you was trying to go. No, don't do that. No. So they can say, no, we'll send him back. I'll be back to get him in 5 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
A reinforced front.
That's right.
What did wisdom say, chapter 9?
Wisdom have builded her house. She have hewed out her 7 pillars. She have killed her beasts She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. She hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. For as for him that wanted understanding, she said to him.
So to the simple person, you need to find wisdom. So that you can get understanding. Because she cried to the simple and the simple-minded person. She cries to him and she tells him, come eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish and live and go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner giveth to himself shame. See, sometimes you can't, because I was asked about that, I think, the other week. About correcting somebody.
Yes, sir.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Now I don't. I used to think, yeah, I got to correct everybody. But you got to know who you can correct.
Yes.
But sometimes people be uncorrected. They are. You can't correct them. You just got to know it's good. You shake your head. But sometimes when you know that person, you know where they at. And that's just it.
Right.
You correct them, it brings the shame. Because they just that much of a corruptible person.
Right.
So I tell you, in wisdom, learn, you have to pick and choose your battles.
Yes, sir.
Unless you want to run around getting shamed.
Rebuking a wicked man, giving himself a block.
A man that just don't want to do right. But that's what wicked is. When you say wicked, I ain't trying to talk about nobody. Ain't nobody trying to talk about nobody. Wickedness is simply one given to not wanting to do right. A righteous person is a person that wants to do right. Don't mean they're infallible. They'll make mistakes. But in their mistakes, they still want to do right.
That's right.
And they'll self-correct themselves. A wicked man is a man that don't want to do right. And he don't even think that he's wrong.
That's right. Not at all. It's justified.
So how can you correct somebody that don't even know and think that they're wrong?
Right.
How can you correct that?
You can't.
You can't.
You don't correct.
You can't. Block. Then he reproves it, says,
Reprove not a scorner.
lest he
hate thee.
This is what's gonna happen. He's gonna hate you. Indignation. Trouble. Reprove not a scorner. See me. Like I said, some people, my son knows some. I don't even talk to some people. I don't waste my time. Why?
It ain't gonna do no good.
Don't come to me for no advice. I ain't gonna step on you. You do, like they say in the street. Boo.
All right.
And I'm not about to give my breath, my time, my energy to you, and everything about you is right.
All right.
You're incorrigible.
Mm.
That's a big word.
Big word. Got it.
Find what? Verse 9 says, find what?
Instruction.
Give instruction
Give
to who?
instruction to a wise man.
Find you somebody that's trying to be wise and give instruction to them.
And he will yet be wiser.
Teach a
just man,
and he will
increase in learning. The fear of Yahweh is understanding.
Mm-hmm.
For by me light shall be increased. If thou be wise.
And while you trying to help others, see, it's always the scripture. That's why I said the big thing about the Old Testament, so-called Old Testament, New Testament, is the message in the Holy Scriptures is always one of self-accountability and self-responsibility. Right. It's about ultimately what you do. Right. Yes, the message come out of the New Testament is about deflection and putting responsibility off on somebody else. That's why it's easy to accept Christ. because he had the responsibility and he bear the burden of all my sins. Well, that's putting the responsibility of my sins and my shortcomings off on somebody else, as opposed to accepting them for myself and saying these are two different messages.
Yes, sir.
The one leads to the path of destruction, the other leads to the path of life.
Hallelujah.
But if you be wise while you're trying to help others, you cannot never forget that if you be wise,
Thou shalt be wise for thyself.
your greatest wisdom is to show that you yourself are a practitioner of what you have others.
But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it.
Because if you scorn just like everybody else scorn, huh? And what I said earlier, you don't talk about what you do and won't do because somebody else what they doing.
Right.
If you be wise and you know this is the right thing to do, then you do it.
Hallelujah.
Then you do it. You don't talk about what I do when everybody else do, because everybody else might not never do it. You be wise for yourself. She'll bear.
Hallelujah.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I've been with people and don't nobody want to see you coming.
Right.
There's no place I can't go to. Huh?
All right.
That I can't go of my own choice.
That's right.
I said, of my own choice. No, I wouldn't go to no clan meeting. That's of my own choice. Who would go to it? And you know what you're dealing with. But there's not a place I can think about with people. There's not a lot. And if you find yourself in that position, don't look at everybody there. Look probably at yourself, because you made it an environment where you feel you can't go there. And in most cases. Thirteenth verse.
A fool.
I'm but a foolish man.
Yes, sir.
That's why our communities are loud, clamorous. That's the system. Speakers rolling on wheels. Your windows rattling. They pull up in front of your house. Don't even know what the song is playing. What the song they playing? That's the song, yeah.
That's the song.
Enjoy that. I know, been there. My partner I hung with, he had a speaker on wheels. He got a little bit Toyota, put new speakers in, everything he replaced it. It was speaking in the door, back door. Over here. Partner one night, he took him with him. He got a car. When my partner got a car, he said, man, my heart hurting. And he wasn't playing, my heart hurting. He said, my back hurting. Because he was in that back seat. Because see, I had learned to put people in the back seat. I got a front seat. Because he couldn't put people in the front. So I learned. I knew the car. I got front seat. Everybody always wonder why. I said, yeah, you're in trouble now. Craziness. But that's why we like that. We loud because we attention star. I hearken attention. He said money unassuming. That's why you don't know you could be in the thrift shop shopping with millionaires. In Goodwill shopping with rolling in money. And they in Goodwill. And they ain't looking at the tag for 50 cents. This too much. And they rolling in money. They got bank accounts. They rolling in money. You down.
That's right.
And they come out and he hollering over 50 cents. But they're quiet. You go down to the little gambling thing when it was open. They be down there, some busted up jeans.
Yeah. Shirt don't match.
Little crocodile t-shirt.
On with a sweater.
Looking any crazy kind of way. And be rolling in money.
Yes, sir.
And the people that don't have no money, the people that don't have no money, they done rented a Rolex. Or I said rented a Rolex for the weekend. Fake diamond rings on every hand, maybe one on real. talking all loud. Huh? Huh?
Yes,
Man,
sir.
y'all know y'all come on
Yes,
now.
sir. Go
Like I
ahead.
said, don't go in no shell now. Y'all open up this question. Y'all know that's what our community is, just loud for no reason. They wake up just loud, yelling and screaming. Just want somebody to know they up. Okay, we hear you. You up. Go back to sleep. That's what I'm gracious. Attention star. And he said, go ahead.
She is simple and knoweth nothing.
A lot of window dressing and on the inside is nothing in there. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
But watch it now.
For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city to call passengers who go right on their way. Whoso is simple.
Whosoever is what?
Simple.
Simple.
Let him turn in. And as for him that wanted understanding, she said to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not it or there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell.
Come to a support system. You need to think about some things. You need to think about what was given to you. That's why he said, my son, forsake not my law and the law of your mother, and forsake not my instructions that I give. Because you need to think about these things before you find yourself caught up.
Yes, sir.
In something you can't out of.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Before you find her, the simple men have been taken. They used to have a thing. I don't know if they still doing, but I remember when I was younger, they used to have a thing where women, that's how a lot of guys was getting robbed.
Yep.
The women would meet them in the bar and talk and sell them back to.
They still do.
When they get back there, in there, and they get to doing what they brought there, about 2 or 3 other guys come buzzing in with gun blazing. Give it all up. And right now you proverbially cop the pants down. He's just like, give it all up. And great shame. You running down the street with nothing on. Great shame. Yeah. But a little wisdom, a little knowledge tell you that's not what you're supposed to be out there in the first place. That's not what you're supposed to be going out there in the first place. I want to take you home. Maybe some other time. I don't know you like that, girl. I don't know you like that. Give me your number. No, I don't do that. Okay. You came to me. You. And there's some other fish out here. I ain't desperate. I ain't thirsty.
All right.
They just say you're thirsty.
Thirsty.
You came to me. What? A little knowledge, a little wisdom, a little understanding. But you can see how this plays out. Chapter 1.
A glad father.
A what?
A wise son. Make of a glad father.
And how he become a wise son? Because he listened to the things that is what? Told him. And he make his father happy by hearing words. A wise son. That's why we read about the glory of Solomon. The glory of Solomon never exists without King David, his father.
Hallelujah.
And some of that came about because of what David did in his life that was wrong. He could tell Solomon, this is what you do not do. Wasn't that David did everything right? But what he did do wrong, he was able to pass on to Solomon so that he would not repeat those mistakes.
Hallelujah.
Again, a wise son maketh a what?
Glad father. But a foolish
But
son
if you want to be a fool,
is the heaviness of his mother.
you have your mother up worried all night long.
Yes, sir.
Worried every time you leave the house. Worried every day of your life. That boy a fool. Any moment he might not make it back home. Because that's the dynamics. This is the dynamics. Go to Psalms.
Hallelujah.
127.
Psalm chapter 127.
Why say Shema Yisrael?
Labor in vain that build it.
Because see, everything is reciprocal. Everything is reciprocal. See, we often forget these things. Now watch this, because we often forget these things. Who in here don't want their children to listen to them? Who in here want their children to listen to them?
Hallelujah.
Huh?
Psalms 127.
Well, and what father in here wants his children to listen to him? Raise your hand.
Hallelujah.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, let us not forget it, fathers, older fathers. Let us not forget that when dealing with Yahweh,
Hallelujah.
because He's the first father.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
So it's incumbent upon him that we listen to Him. And you that's not fathers yet, you still His sons. He's the father of all of us. So you that not fathers yet, listen to Yahweh when you go seeking trying to become a father,
Hallelujah.
because He had told you the right way to do things. Even if I haven't, days to your life that will bring you a blessing. And what we read last week in Proverbs, when Yahweh bring you a blessing, He add no what?
Sorrow.
Add no sorrow to it.
Hallelujah.
The sorrow probably comes because of what you or I have done
Yes,
and
sir.
will do.
Yes,
But
sir.
when Yahweh truly bring you a blessing, He add no sorrow to it.
Hallelujah.
Now, if you say you got a blessing and you sorry that you found it every day that you with it, then that ain't no Yahweh. And you need to stop saying you've been blessed.
All
Nah,
right.
you ain't been blessed. You just confused.
All right.
Isaac, I dare you to say where Isaac said he blessed me, but he had sorrow. Isaac had bliss and accomplishments every day of his life,
Yes,
because
sir.
the woman that was brought back to him was truly from the Most High Yah.
Hallelujah.
So say Yah, say what?
Labor in vain that build it, except Yahweh. Keep the city, the watchman watches, waking in vain.
And see, all houses have a foundation. You the foundation. So the first thing in building a house is get yourself together.
Hallelujah.
You say, I might not get married until I'm about 50 years old. Good. Took you 50 years to get yourself together.
Took you 50 years to
Take
get
yourself
yourself
50 years
together.
together. Just pray to y'all might. You got another 50 years on this planet to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Hallelujah. Yes, sir.
I tell him, build your kingdom first.
Hallelujah.
Then find somebody to come in and help you maintain your kingdom.
All right.
That's your mindset. Don't find somebody and then come in and try to build the kingdom.
Wow.
Because you might that's going to complicate things.
Yes, sir.
Build your kingdom with the right materials, the best materials, the best way. Do that. Then find that special someone to come in and be a maintainer of the kingdom.
Yes, sir.
That's what you pour the foundation, you let it solidify, you let it sit there, you let it cure, get strong. Then you attach everything to the frame. Then at the final end, you dress everything up real pretty and real good, and it look real good from the outside.
Right.
But if you missed any of them, verse 2, Creator says, so the first thing, the foundation is the Most High. Then you be the frame. Then everything can attach on to the frame. Creator says,
it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep.
And that speaks to doing things the right way.
Hallelujah.
I know, because I've had my share of doing things the wrong way. And that's when I'm sitting up at night and can't sleep. That's when sleep escapes me.
Yes, sir.
That's when I'm worried about everything. That's when I'm on the verge of anxiety and the verge of depression. Woe is me, and all the things that I wonder about and worry about. Chris said, but it's vain. And it means it's no good for nothing. And part of it is it don't have to be. Most of the incidences that we did come out, it's different when it just comes out of nowhere. Somebody got sick. I step and see why we where we at right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It comes home to you.
Yes. Right at the door.
My credit bad. Hey, you ain't got
that ain't no mission.
What bills you didn't pay?
All right.
For years.
All
Not
right.
just what obligation you ain't taking with that kind of living like that for years. Take a little time when you can repair. It might take a little time to repair. Because it didn't happen overnight.
No. Right.
You ain't gonna get quick fix.
Overnight.
But it's vain because a lot of things don't even have to be worries. Don't have to be worried. Even with him, when I let him go out with his buddies. My last thing, when I drop him off. Y'all know what I told y'all this before. My last message to him, my last word that he hears. So either he get into something, it'll be ringing in his ear. My last words to him is, you know what to do.
All right.
And then I hit the corner, like Smokey and the Bandit, getting home. I'm gone. I'm gone. And I get home, hit them soft cushions. I'm out. Till he called me. I'm ready. Because you know what to do. Now the unforeseen things I know so over that.
That's right.
That's the part I take to the Most High, where I pray and put him in the Most High's hand to keep him away from any evil and any harm.
That's right. Hallelujah.
Because I can't worrying ain't gonna control that either.
No.
So I have no control over that.
Unseen.
But I'm worried about things I know he does have control
All
over.
right.
It says he giveth his beloved what? Sleep.
Sleep.
Then he says in verse 3,
Lo.
by the knowledge of the Most High Yah.
Hallelujah.
From the day that they put him in my arms to where he at right now. Every day I'm with him. All the time I'm around him. All of them. So that's why he gives me sleep. Because I can lay down and say, I buy him. Because I understand when you birth them, children are
heritage of Yahweh.
Yeah, they me and his mother, but they belong first and foremost in our hands to take care of them.
Yes, sir.
So there's even a greater responsibility there. That these are yours.
Hallelujah.
That he allowing you to be a part of their life.
Yes.
This is what he did when he took the child from David that people don't understand. Not that the child died for David's sin, because that can't happen. But what he would not allow David to do is to have a reward
That's right.
for doing something in such a wicked way.
That's right.
He would not reward him for his wickedness.
Hallelujah.
So he will never enjoy him.
Hallelujah.
So I bring him back to be with me. There is no fault in that child.
That's right.
Child committed no sin. And even his death don't absolve you from your sin. That's why for the rest of your day, I'll pay the sin that was swore would have never had to come in his house. But it did.
Right.
But he would not allow David to sit there, have fun, run up and down the streets, throw the bull. You won't be allowed that. The child come home with me. And you have to live with that.
Hallelujah.
That's a punishment.
Yes, sir.
That's why David prayed. I want him. I want him. Father said, no,
Can't have.
can't have him. He's
Don't
mine.
deserve.
He's mine. For lo, children are of Yahweh.
And the fruit of the womb is his reward.
I found it. The fruit of the womb, when it comes, that's his reward.
Hallelujah.
Your safeguarding of his reward don't just start even when they come through the birth canal. Your safeguarding of his reward starts from the moment you know there's conception.
All right.
And you out of this. See, we missing the whole understanding of the Almighty.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Moray.
That me and her, when we commune together, we're getting ready. It's the great we all belong to the Most High. So we have a greater responsibility how we look at each other and treat each other.
Hallelujah.
Y'all didn't hear me. I'm going to go
Yes,
back
sir.
on. They were right in this. Y'all didn't hear me.
Go ahead, Moray.
We thought like that. We be getting better results.
Yes, sir.
Take care of the child from the moment of you think of what you feed it, how you talk to it, how you talk to it. Yes, because she's carrying it, what you giving, the vibe you giving her to feel.
That's right.
And not only her, the vibe you giving her. So she, animal kingdom have enough sense to know this.
Yeah.
The bird prepares the nest and equips it for protection, and every edge breaking through, and those birds will be in that nest chirping. But before she lay one egg, she prepared the nest to take care of all those chicklets.
Hallelujah.
This that he gives belongs to him. It's his reward when you handle it.
As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth.
All these young children in our midst, as I said before, they're arrows.
Hallelujah.
They're arrows.
Yes, sir.
What do you do with an arrow?
Aim.
You guide it. You aim and you guide it.
Yes, sir.
It goes where your have positioned it to go.
Yes, sir.
You won't close to where you line it up at.
Hallelujah.
You have to line these children up
That's
from
right.
their youth.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
From the youth. We spend volatile years talking about they're too young, they're too young. But it's that formation time right there.
Hallelujah.
And that is the job of the parent to the auntie to the child.
Yes, sir.
Let them come in and assist you if you need help.
Right.
But that is your job. I guarantee you, somebody get a reward of $100, they wouldn't ask nobody to come help them spend it.
So long.
Got the new person. Huh?
That's right.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
He got a little Ziploc bag of a little good tree. You go to move one day and you fall. What is this? Dang, you got those there. Yeah. You share everything now. Don't have reward. You gonna keep it. Yeah, treat them like us.
Yeah.
As arrows in the hand of a mighty man. Not only that, are you a mighty man? Are you a man?
Are you a man?
Let's scratch out Mike for a minute.
All right.
Are you even a man?
There's a lot.
So are the children of his what?
You.
You. Like I said, I went down south. Read this statement.
Happy is the man that have his quiver full with the enemies in the gate.
And my scripture said they shall subdue them. I mean, like I said, I remember, and I told y'all this downtown. I remember going down south, and I saw this man, older man, and he had all these boys with him. And I said, well, man, some of them got to be from around the neighborhood. No, all of them was a son. All of them was a son. And they were standing around him. You know, he's old. He's advanced. He's a little bent over. He can't move as quick as he used to. He can't do everything. But guess what? All them boys from the youngest to the oldest, they can. Right. And I guarantee ain't nobody rolling down there to mess with him, right, no matter how old he gets. Because you got to fight that little army that he bring out of that house. Right. You ain't just going to roll up on Pops. Right. When Pops come out on the front, and by the time you make your way out there, you see about 15, 16 come out those. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, come on. Yeah, different tune now. Yeah, don't stop now. Don't stop now. But this was so because of all the bonds of what he did in raising them and forging them. This is how the family grew. But what do we have fractured families? Hey, son, they over here, is about 5 of them trying to mess with me. Well, damn it, take care of yourself. You didn't do nothing for me. You're dirty. Dang. That's how we roll, yeah. Nah. I would think, my second, I would hope he would rally the cause if something go down. You know? Right. And he does. And I took him to Atlanta with me once. The one y'all took me, he was the only one that went. He said, I'm there for you, Daddy. He said, I'm there for you, Daddy. I said, mercy. God, mercy.
Doing like that.
But no, the dynamics is that parents are parents and grandparents are grandparents. And so, yes, there is great frustration when you force grandparents to become parents, right, because that's not their role. Right. Their role is to help and support. Right. Their role is not obligatory. If I want to bring home, if I want to take them shopping for school, right, if I wanted this, if I want them that. Last night they went over all the, well, 3 of them was over there, my mother. She called me, hounding me all day long. When David and Song come over here? When David and Song, because they play with the cousin. I said, they'll be over. Then about 9 o'clock, she called me back and said, when you coming to get them? When you coming to get them? I said, and now you hounding me about coming. Man. My sister said, well, never mind. I'll drop them off then. I just want to know somebody was at home. And about 10 minutes, they were around the door. Beep, beep, beep. I said, look, grace the Lord. What the devil is this? Oh, man. But that's how that dynamic goes. Understand?
Yes, sir.
And like I said, when they go over there, she said, well, what your daddy tell you? That's what she tell them. What your daddy tell you? Now, unless you think I ain't told them right, then she got a few choice words. That's another story. But she reinforces whatever I said. Number one, because she don't want to see me get hurt. That's her. But she said, but she know the way of this world is she know that in football, go places that they ultimately operate on what? Sabbath.
Yeah. Right.
And so she told him, she said, you're not going to be able to do this and do what your father had raised you in. You're going to have to pick one. That's what she told him. Because she know how I'm raising him. Right. So she was reading, even though her herself, you're gonna do one or the other. And in short, what she's telling me, I advise you to stick with your daddy.
Right.
Right. Hallelujah.
Dynamic. From Book of Ruth.
Ruth.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So like I said, I've been thinking about some other children. I've been thinking about some other kids. Alright. Want some other kids. And as soon as he finds somebody right, and they do it, I'll have them. How many they have? Knock yourself out. As long as you take care of them, they're gonna be with you, Jesus. Ain't the adoption. They're gonna be with you. It ain't the drop off with. You get none here. Have to recapture this. This is the kind of people we are. There's systems in place. Ruth, the 4th chapter.
Hallelujah. Ruth 4, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then went Boaz.
No. I want to expedite everything.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to verse
13.
10.
10. Hallelujah. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased my wife to raise up the name of the dead, be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are my witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. I will make that is come into thy house like Rachel and like Leah, which two Rael.
See, that's even the dynamics.
Hallelujah.
All this we have to learn. We don't put people together seeking that they fall. We don't put people together hoping they fall apart. When families get together, when couples get together, this would be a joyous and momentous occasion for all that know it. We got people getting married, and like I said earlier, can't even throw the family function because everybody mad at each other.
Right.
They said, here, may this woman be like Rachel and like Leah, help build the house of who?
Israel.
And do the house
worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem.
Mm-hmm.
And let thy house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which Yahweh shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her,
he took her, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her,
Yahweh gave her conception.
Order. Didn't say he went in unto her. He took her, and when he went in unto her, she was his wife. Go ahead. And he gave her a son, and what?
And the woman said unto Naomi, blessed be Yahweh, which have not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thy old age. But thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee for him.
See, that's what you do.
Hallelujah.
I said this for the grandparents, because that's what she was. It don't say grandparent, but in our language, that's what we're saying. For the grandparent. And they were saying on her, hey, we happy for you. This little grandbaby about,
right.
You know, like I told y'all a few months ago, maybe last, I was looking at my mother, and she in the backyard. She's 77 at that time. Yeah, I saw you out there swinging that leg, and I was wondering when it was going to set in on you. But because they were there, they give her that what? They give her that infusion of that vitality, that energy,
Sir.
you know, boom. For your daughter, which is your daughter-in-law, which love you, have borne thee more than, which is born better. Let me get it right. I'm going with you somewhere. Which loveth thee, which is thee than 7 sons have borne him.
And Naomi
Not
took the
Ruth,
child
not Ruth, but Naomi took the child,
and laid it in her bosom,
laid it in her bosom.
and became nurse unto it.
That don't mean she breastfed it. She comforted it. Give me that baby. No, she comforted the baby. 'Cause when the baby got hungry and needed to be nursed, Ruth, here you go.
Hallelujah.
Time for you to nurse him. But she comforted him, and he became what? And the child laid in her, and she became nurse unto it. And the women said,
And her neighbors gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi.
And they said there's a son born to Naomi. Not that it physically came out of her womb. There's a son of Naomi's lineage tied to her. That's her son. Because there's not no Naomi, this don't happen.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And they called his name Obed.
Obed.
He is the father of Yeseh.
This Obed is the father of Yeseh,
the father of David.
who is the father of Melech David, King David.
Hallelujah. Now there are generations of Perez. Perez begot Hezron, and Hezron begot Ram, and Ram begot Aminah. And Ram begot Amminadab, and Amminadab begot Nahasson, and Nahasson begot Solomon, and Solomon begot Boaz, and Boaz begot Obed, and Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Genesis 50th chapter. Go there.
Genesis chapter 50. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. 23rd verse.
Genesis 50, verse 23. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the 3rd generation, the children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees.
They were brought up upon in 3 different generations. Their father still raised them, but he was around to give guidance and to be a help and to be an aid for 3 generations that he saw.
Oh, God.
For 3 generations. Now, because that's the dynamics. And this is what I will say, because I want that to be understood, or we wanted that to be understood, whose total and first responsibility is. But sadly, people don't always live up to their responsibility.
So true.
Sadly.
So true.
It's sad.
Yes, it is.
But when that happens, you can't just let everything go to hell.
That's right.
Fall in. Cave in. Because sometimes the price is too great to pay. As I said, sometimes married couples don't always, there's a greater vision. And there's a greater focus that both people have to wise up, or should wise up and acknowledge. And even though they cannot maintain a relationship with each other, for the sake of that which is common, they should find a responsible way of being able to coexist. You don't have to love me or like me no more. That's why we apart. That's good. But right now, we have X, Y, and Z that we have to concentrate on. And so I won't blatantly disown you in any kind of way. And I think it's why, likewise, if you don't with me, that we can raise them. After we get them up and going and off, then you can get back to calling me whatever you want to call me. But let's act like somebody got always take something. To do the right thing, always take something.
Yes, sir.
And it's called strength.
Hallelujah.
It's called strength.
Hallelujah.
It's never easy to do the right thing. But it's easy to do the wrong thing because it don't take no effort at all.
Right.
But to do the right thing is hard a lot of times. But somebody has to do the right thing. So where a child is faltering, not only grandchildren, but where a child is faltering. And like I said, I only speak to my life, not to glorify me or nothing. You ain't got to think nothing about it. But I know what I know. That's why one of my greatest, or some of my greatest times was not only raising my children, because that, believe it or not, that was something. I would have my kids, but then I had 3 and 4 hours I would give to the squad that I was helping to coach. There was no man to be found.
That's right.
There was his mother. There was a couple of siblings. But when I looked for the father, he was not to be found. And the ones that did have fathers, I saw how they treated their sons, and it was deplorable. I went after one of the fathers. My son will tell you. And it's out of my character. Because the coach was like, man, where you going? They told me, and then they were like, man, we wondering where you was going, man. I said, this was a day I just couldn't take that. The way he was screaming at the boy and hollering at the boy. And it don't take all that. And he wasn't helping the child. He was crushing the child. And I just couldn't take it that day. So I went right after him. Because he had planned on, he telling him everything, leaving with him. I said, ain't nobody going. And we got to the car. I said, ain't nobody going nowhere. But he coming right back down on the field. He going to continue to practice. He going to continue. You can leave. He looked at me like, huh? I said, yeah, I'm talking to you. And my son, my oldest, he was there. And my line. And I brought him right back down the field. Took him right back to practice. And I talked to him in the manner in which he's supposed to be dealt with. Because, now like I said, you won't see me do that in all circumstances, but that was a situation where the Almighty gave me. But I love coaching them kids. And all them kids do 4 hours with me, that's what we told their parents. Them 3, 4 hours they with us, we they father.
Yeah.
We ain't say we they, because y'all here. But we they father. And we demanded that right, that respect, and they gave it to us. When I stopped coaching and went back that next year, and they saw me hit the field, they stopped practice. They stopped. And, oh, Coach A, he's back. I said, no, Coach A ain't back. I just came to hit. Oh. I said, but I understood I had too much on my plate. I had to invest more time with mine. But what I was speaking to is the dynamics, because those young men, that's what they craving. And so a little time out, especially when you see things, we can't just let them falter. And I know it takes strength. It's going to get frustrating. It's going to get aggravating. And then I'll speak to that too in a minute. But let's go to the book of Job. Sometimes people just ill-equipped.
Yes, sir.
They like going to help somebody with their burden that's under them. They too weak to lift it up by themselves. So sometimes you got to go and you only want to help. You say, I'm only going to help lift this burden off of them. But when you get down there and try to lift it up, what is your back hurting? They lift it. But that's because they weak and they ill-equipped. be strengthened. Until they can be strengthened, you might have to bear that burden. Job 29.
Job chapter 29. Hallelujah.
And what I can tell you to help in that is that, because that's in all things, you got to pray to the Almighty
Yes, sir.
for your strength. He'll hear you. Then scripture say, for what Elohim is there so near unto thee? And how many things?
All things.
All go. Who in here weak? Thank you.
All day.
Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Y'all that was there, y'all gave the right answer. See, we think we're strong, but we're weak.
Yes, sir.
And we need strength. So it's going to take strength. Take strength to God. Jacob asked the Almighty in his vow, I promise to give you a tenth if you let me come and go to my father and come back to my father's house in peace. In other words, if you be with me, because through this journey of life, I can't do this on my own.
That's right.
I'm going to need you more often than not. And the knot is real, it's like paper slim. Never. I'm going to need you through everything. I'm going to need you through coronavirus. People had like a financial hard time. I was having a financial hard time before.
Right.
Man.
See, it didn't do nothing. It just showed me. Everybody else just. I'm here too. I'm people things. All right. I was a trailblazer. That's all. Nah. My life, I've made it as far as I've made it with the Most High. With the Most High. And Him working for me. So that's where I go to when I need strength. Because I need strength. Like I said, you got to be strong to stand in the gap, to do the things that's necessary to be done. Great men are not always great. They're great when they have to be. And wise men are not always wise. They're wise when they have to be. Not sometimes, and that's not when you want to be. A lot of times that's when you don't expect to do it. But that's when your greatness and your wisdom kicks in. Job 29.
Yes, sir.
Look at what he says.
Over Job continued his parable and said, oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when Elohim preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of Elohim was upon my tabernacle, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were about me.
When who was about him?
My children.
When my children was about me. Because all this was in his youth. All this was when he's drawing a picture of how this was when he was younger. And he's craving those days. When my children was about me.
When I washed my steps with butter, the city, when I prepared my seat in the streets, the young men saw me and hid themselves, and the aged arose and stood up. The princes refrained talking and laid their hand on their mouth. The nobles held their peace, and their tongue cleaved to the roof of their mouth. When the eye saw me, it gave witness to me, because I delivered the poor that cried, and the fatherless, and him that had none to help him.
See, he's asking for these days. He's asking for this time when the Almighty had him invigorated enough, and when he had the youth and he had the ability to use his energy to do all these things. not only have his children and keep them in line. He said, but when I ventured out, young people, they knew me. They said, there go Mr. Brown. When the ear heard me, it blessed me. And when they saw me, it gave witness. Because I was able to use my life in the service of others. And the Almighty had blessed me with enough fortitude to spread it around. I delivered the what? Poor that cried.
And the fatherless. And him that had none to help him.
Don't think that the great one don't see your labor that you do. Don't think he don't see that. I often use the story of Shaquille O'Neal. How his real father was estranged from him.
That's right.
And his father that met his mother and raised him. Now years later, who would know? Huh? He just raised him to be a upstanding young man.
Right.
But who would know he would become 7 foot, 300 something pounds, and he'd be slam dunking balls on people for a living, making millions of dollars to where he could buy and afford them the life that they never had. And the Almighty kept that father around through now. And I won't slight him, because that's who burned me. That's who bore me. He said, but as for asking me who my father is,
right.
He turned and pointed to that man that guided him all them years.
Right.
This is going to bring on TV and tell you is my father. Because what he was for me and my mother, he didn't have to be. When we were poor, he became the father to the fatherless. Was he tired? You better believe he worked and he toiled and his back was broken and his shoulder was sore and his fingers was cracked and he was tired many nights. But he made sure that boy, but the produce paid the fruits of it later on. Better know the end of the matter than the beginning.
Right.
If he don't do that for him, he could just be another 7 foot, 300 something person that's a predator in his community, preying on everybody, or dead, or anything that cried. The fatherless, him that had none to help him. Again, I love her so much. When my mother and I told my mother, I said, you're like that nursery rhyme. The little old lady who lived in the shoe. Because I don't know how many children that came through this house that you took from the time you raised us to all of the neighborhood children that knew they could run to Mama Thomas's house and get a meal and get a sandwich, and you never turned nobody down, to when you got into foster care and all them babies you brought through this door, to when you did daycare and now the kids are grown and they riding by the house now, blowing their horn and stopping. Hey, Miss Thomas. Hey, Aaron. Because so yeah. And she can look at them and they come, many of them come by and be like, we so glad you kept us. We so glad you kept us. And they contribute a lot of their success to her.
Hallelujah.
Verse 13.
The blessing of him that was heart to sing for joy. I put on righteousness and it clothed me.
Because that's what we have to do. We have to put on righteousness. And he said when he put it on, it clothed him.
My judgment was as a robe and a diadem.
Judgment became as a robe and a diadem.
I was eyes to the blind.
All for them that could not see.
And feet to the lame.
He was feet for them that was lame.
I was a father to the poor.
To the poor.
And which I knew not, I searched out.
And he called and he searched out the way to make things right. If there was a way to make it right, that's what he was.
And of the jaws of the wicked.
Broke the jaws of the wicked.
And got the spoil out of his teeth.
Yes.
Then I said, I shall die in my nest.
We seeing someone run around. We got to do the best we can do. Maybe, and in a short period of time, maybe. But we see them running around. We got to snatch them. Like I said, do the best we can do with them. It's better to see them running around when they're young and try to be this, try to gird their strength, try to pass out enough strength, than to see them run around you when they 19, 16, 15, and they headed to somebody's prison. And you say, I knew that little boy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That's Johnny's old son, yeah. I could have had him playing wiffle ball with my children. I could have had him passing the football. It's not about big things, just these little things.
Yes, sir.
And it don't take much. Like I said, when they were younger, the boy, and all these things, I teach this and use this. The young fella, he couldn't get enough. He came over one weekend, and I couldn't get rid of him. Calling on his own. I don't even know he called me. He calling me from school. Mr. Israel, what's up, man? This so-and-so. I said, yeah. I just called him. Can I come over the weekend? Your mama know you come. No. Get off this phone, boy. Tell your mama to call me. But he couldn't get enough. He loved it. And when he came over, he was my son.
Hallelujah.
Just as much as he my son. I said, go to bed. Everybody go. I think he would beat them in the bed. They want him dilly-dally. He don't mean that. School think he a problem. I never had no problem at him. And it wasn't like I brought him and took him to no mansion. Because that ain't what it took. I wouldn't even know him now. But I pray y'all right.
Hallelujah.
But we got the power to help them stay out of the teeth of the wicked. Like I said, it ain't no big time thing. Be the neighborhood dad to go out and when you take yours out, toss it to David. David, toss it in. Now they just tossing the ball up and down the street. Now, did they? No, they don't work their way back around. They go, okay, yeah, do it again. And now that's what he means. It ain't just about going out barking at somebody. Then you'll be known when you come out there, hey, they're going to miss it. They're going to miss it. They're going to miss it. Now you can talk to them.
Hallelujah.
Hey, no, see what happened. I don't want to hear that no more. Oh, okay, man. You ingratiate them. If they don't have, you never know. I never know. We might be the thing that make the biggest difference in that young man's life.
Yes, sir.
Down the road.
Yes, sir.
He be down the road and he say, I remember what turned your life around. I remember one day, this old man in the neighborhood didn't have to do it, but he was playing ball with his son. And then he started letting me play with him. Mm-hmm. Then I started listening to him. He would tell me different things. And he didn't even have to do that. But that's why I'm where I'm at. That's why I'm a doctor. That's why I'm a lawyer.
Hallelujah. Right.
I broke the jaw of the wicked. They preying on the jaws of the wicked. They like a lion, like a ravenous beast. They separate and they get the weak. They don't go after the ones that's able to have somebody around them. Well, that's what they're doing. They separate and they're going after the weak. Because they have nobody around them. Whose hands you think they're going to fall? The jaw of the wicked. And I plucked the spoil out of it. I took it away. We took our children away from them. That's what the righteous can say.
Hallelujah.
Why the numbers start coming down? Because we took them. We can't do it when they get up here and they already on fours, that kind of Like I said, they got third grade tests. The third grade aptitude test was designed and by grade. Because by the third grade aptitude test, that's what they're using to set children on the pipeline to prison. So if your child is not showing them nothing by third grade, they automatically designate them to be on a life to prison. Keep reading.
Verse 18. Job 29, verse 18. Then I said, I should die, saying, my roots were spread out by the waters, and the dew lay all night upon my branch. My glory was fresh in me, and my bow was renewed in my hand. Unto me men gave ear, and waited, and kept silence at my counsel.
Not only the young men, you with the Almighty, and the Almighty is giving us increasing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All people that don't know what you know are supposed to start being silent.
Oh, yeah.
When you speak. Like Eve Hutton. Israel speaking.
All right.
Not an Israelite that should not. I ain't saying that it's so, that should not retain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Men and women.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you speak, it should be loud. Don't have to be much, but it should be loud. Be impactful. They should hang on your every word. It's going to be heavy. Men gave ear and kept silent at my counsel.
After my words, they spake not again, and my speech dropped upon them.
Israel too heavy for me.
And they waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the rain.
They wanted more and more.
If I laughed on them, they believed it not, and the light of my countenance they cast not down. I chose out their way and set chief, and dwelt as a king in the army, as one that comforted the mourner.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
With all people. He said, I was with all people, not only the young, if the Almighty is in you, if the light of Yah is in us. We are reformers. Even when men, he said, when I dealt with men, I was as a king. We know Father Jacob was given the name Israel. Some renderings it says he who is striven with Elohim and with man and have prevailed. But another rendering that they say in connotation, they said that it means to be a prince with Elohim. That's why you will hear some brothers say Yasharal, because that Shar is the same as what they say in modern script. It means prince. So because one rendering is we were named and understood and be implied a prince with Elohim. And we know that designation was given to our father Jacob. But do you know who also had that designation? Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis. See, the reason why Jacob would become known as Israel is because somebody before him Go to Genesis, 23rd chapter. This is the report he built.
Genesis chapter 23.
3.
Hallelujah.
Verse 1.
Hallelujah. And Sarah was 107. And Sarah was 107 of Sarah. And Sarah died and killed Jabbar. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. A stranger and a sojourner with you.
Where is he? What is he? What did he say he was? Land? He not, it's y'all's. Now watch how they speak to him.
Abraham stood up from before his head, for his dead, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him,
Now he said, I'm a stranger and I'm a sojourner in your land, but look how they talk to him.
Hear us, my master.
They said, no, man, that got by y'all. Abraham is not he a stranger and a sojourner in their land.
Yes, sir.
He's subservient, and they come back to him and say, no, you be our master. Let's straighten this out for you. You're our master, for among us, you are a prince of Elohim.
What can we get for you?
Stop this nonsense about this art. What you want?
All the land.
Whatsoever you ask. None of us will refuse you. He's greater than us. This ain't something he had to come in and take by force. Something he had to come in and convince them of. It just took him walking with Yah and being Abraham. And y'all might have showed his enemies even. This man is a prince with me. He's my son. You better treat him right. And none of the sons of heaven refused him anything. Keep reading, bro.
Oh, God. Hear us, my master. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In thy choice, in the choice of a sepulchre, bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land. If it be your mind, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead, to Ephron, the son of Zohar.
I've already been looking at a place, and if y'all really mean this, I've been looking at a nice one. I wasn't coveting, but
he might give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field, for as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, Nay, my master, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein, I give it thee. In the presence of the sons of my people, give I it thee. Bury thy dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people. I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, my master,
Again, my master.
hearken unto me, twixt me and thee.
It's worth 400 shekels, but what is that between me and you?
Bury therefore thy dead. And he had named in the audience. Excuse me.
In other words, it said it's worth 400 shekels, but I ain't even really asking you to pay that, chief.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing. And Abraham
weighed to Ephron the silver, which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant, and the field of Ephron, which was in Elah, which was before Mamre, the field, and the cave, which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure.
So it became what? All that became whose?
Abraham.
Became Abraham's. All of it. Go ahead.
Unto Abraham for possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. Hallelujah.
So that's why Jacob could become Israel. Because his grandfather was the first one that showed great power amongst his enemies. Mastery over his enemies, even in their land.
We have to fight for it.
Even in their land. And didn't fight. They just, the awesome power and entity and force that this man Abraham was and how he lived. And everything else fell into place.
Didn't even have to pay.
Didn't even have to pay for it if he didn't want to.
No shit. What kind of man he is, he pay anyway.
Because that's his righteousness. And that's what having power with Yah means. That you have mastery. You have the capability of having mastery over all situations with Yah's strength and help. Have mastery over it. Even when you ask him to move, he will move for you. Sometimes though he's ready to move and we're not. Sometimes spade had to be called a spade. And my brother was saying, this is in all situations. To resolve the situation, you just got to get that perversion and sand and tell them no more. You ain't, like the children of Israel said, we a line in the sand. If you want to give up your rights and your responsibility, then you don't have rights no more. If it's mine, but we ain't gonna play this game where you dangling it in front of me and trying to keep me latched on. We're not gonna do that. Because people will take advantage of you when they can. Well, I know I got them over here, so I can go off and do it. I wouldn't get in to the adoption system and the foster care system. Because I saw what they used to do, what parents used to do. They go and get the kid, come every week for about 2 hours. They go and buy popcorn and all this. And then you got to get the kid back. He mentally is messed up because they done took him. He know these his parents and they done took him a good time for a couple hours and then be saying stuff like, and he's mentally messed up because my mother, they asked me again. I said, HE double L, all capital letters. And they were like, what? I said, yes. I said, not because of the kids. I said, because if you give them to me, you got to give them to me where they mine. That means everything else get cut off. Well, they got to see the parents. The parents have a right to. Well, then you make the parents start getting themselves together where they can get them in. Because I'm not playing these games where they go away for a couple of hours, come back to me, and for a whole week, I got to readjust them back into and reacclimate them back to how and recondition them back to how I want them. Force them to get themselves together and give them back to them. And when I told them that, they said, well, you don't look like, I don't think you'll be a good candidate. I said, thank you. But we really wish you would have got your license. No, you don't. That's why I was never big. That's why I was never big before I got married. I was never big on getting into a relationship with a woman that had children already. He wine and dine them almost, show him a good time. Oh, I'm your real daddy. You ain't got to listen to nothing that Trump say, and da da da. And then he come back to your house, and you like, hey, boy, you know what? I ain't got to listen to you for that. And then that spills over with you and his mother. Because now you're like, you ain't gonna disrespect. Now y'all fighting. You like, baby, I didn't mean that, but it's spilling over.
Yes, sir.
I said, no. So anytime a young lady said, well, I got about, I said, hey, time out. Because I have seen the game plan. Sometimes it's got to be cut and dry. It's got to be cut and dry. I covered a lot. There was a lot of ads. Any comments, questions on that? Anything that's been said so far?
I'm taking heed to everything you said.
So like I said, yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. Like I said, we know the overall responsibility, and what we didn't know, we know today. So we got to change with what we know today and how we raising ours. If we didn't get a chance to be raised like that, we found out what needed to be done, so we have to do it. And we have to raise the future generations to do it. And so that's what we have to do. We can't harp on tomorrow because tomorrow don't come back. But we can deal with the present and look forward to the future. And that's my outlet. Things that I've done in the past, I have to acknowledge them, but I can't stay with them, and they can't stay with me. I have to work on what's present and change so my future can be better. And so that's what we have to do. See our own faults and our own mistakes. Like I said, if you be wise for yourself. Make the changes we have to make and keep chugging along and raise them right from here on out. Do the right things from here on out. But we can't also let everything just go to hell. If there's a breach, somebody got to stand in the gap and be the battle warrior. Don't know how long, but somebody got to put on the armor. They got to put on the helmet, the breastplate, and bridge the gap.
Yes, sir.
To hold till backup comes. You got to do it.
Hallelujah.
But then, like I said, till backup comes. Because at some point in time, you got to hold other people accountable. You got to hold them accountable as well. Because they ain't gonna never try to get themselves together. That's the nature of most men. They'll never try to get themselves together along somebody doing something for them. But the moment they got to do something for themselves, if they wise, it'll kick in. Like I said, when they put me in that swimming pool, I told y'all last week, and I found out wasn't nobody jumping in there to save me. Bro, they run learn how to swim real quick. And my parents paid money to take me to the YMCA to teach me how to swim. And I didn't learn. But the day they took me out there, that summer day they took me out there and horsing around, they like, ha, ha, bah. And I hit that water and it got dark as I was singing and singing the face of the deep. Because it got dark, Jack. I said, shh. There's two things that can happen right now, Chief. They can find you at the bottom of this pool, or some kind of way, you can find your way back to the surface. And legs and arms started moving. And I found my way back to the surface. So sometimes you got to make people sink or swim before they have their epiphany, what they need to do. Because as long as you keep on being the crutch, they don't totally lean on you. Kick that crutch off and run them sometime. Then see. Then see. Yeah. Then see. Any other comment from anybody?
I was trying to catch you before you guys continue going on, but other things.
He didn't create it like that. He'll help us all the time. He's always there for us. He helps us. But sometimes he needs us to see that we got to get up and help ourselves. So he let things happen and you be dwelling and you talk about help me, help me, help. But some of it you need to show some initiative yourself. I can't always keep bailing you out. You need to learn. 9 and 17.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? The stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. That's what you asked a question about? Huh? Well, in the make it as simple as I can, I can that's equated to like messing with somebody else's woman. And y'all just having good time. That's the stolen water. She another man well. She another man's sister. That's why Scripture said, drink from your own sister. Go find your own sister and drink from it.
Right.
But she's telling you it's all right to come and drink from her. Something that don't belong to you. That you ain't supposed to have your hands on.
Right.
Stolen waters are sweeter, she said, than finding your own water. And bread eaten in secret places is pleasant. Some people, that's how warped they are. I like being in what they call it? Mistress. The excitement of it. They get chilled. They get the excitement of it. You might get busted at any. All this. What? Who's excited then? Yeah. It ain't you. Ain't no fun. But if you don't have no wisdom, knowledge, understanding, many men, like I said, are taken by this. Ain't nothing wrong with a little one night affair. 1 night, 2 nights, slipping away. Men have had their livelihoods. Men have had their life, not only their life. I'm telling you that stuff like that, behavior like that is all right. That's not the behavior of the sons and daughters of the Almighty. Ain't nothing honorable about that. Nothing righteous, nothing honorable about that. It goes on to say, but he knoweth not. So he don't have no knowledge. He don't have no wisdom. He don't have no understanding because he knoweth not that this kind of behavior is dangerous. This kind of behavior, he knoweth not that the dead are there. This is the pathway to the dead, to destruction. And that her are in the depths of the grave. So you have to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High. Know what it is to even be in a relationship. Why you want to be in a relationship? What's supposed to come from the relationship? How to get it kicked off on the right foot. You getting it kicked off on a physical foot, you in the wrong anyway. I tell the young folks that because so many of us have, we know it. Most of us ain't even with the person that we first had a physical relationship with. Because it's higher. I will teach it till I go to my grave. It's higher. I got a young man, I got the rest of his life in my hand. It's higher. You better make your connection with her spiritually. That's why it don't matter, and people don't want to hear me say it. It don't matter even if you're sitting in the same Knesset. You better still make sure she vibe with you spiritually. Because you can still be sitting in the same Knesset, same building, even in Bible class. Don't mean that that's the person for you just because you look over there and they saying hallelujah and jumping up and down too. You got to see what's going on spiritually, mentally, and physically. Be satisfied.
There's a scripture in the book of First Chronicles, the 21st chapter.
First Chronicles, 21st chapter.
Canaan.
Mm-hmm. King David.
That's right. And you see that King David had numbered Israel. You see what the angel had declared for him to do. And you see the relationship between King David and the owner of the land, Ornan.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at the, you read it from read at the 18th verse.
First Chronicles,
21. Chapter 21.
Yes.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Then the angel of Yahweh commanded Gad to say to David that David should go up and set up an altar unto Yahweh in the threshing floor of Ornan, the Jebusite. Went up at the saying of Gad, which he and his 4 sons with him hid themselves. Now Ornan was threshing wheat, and David came to Ornan. Ornan looked and saw David, and went out of the threshing floor and bowed himself to David with his face to the ground. Then David said to Ornan, grant me the place of this threshing floor, that I may build an altar therein unto Yahweh. Thou shalt grant it me for the full price, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Ornan said unto David, take it to thee, and let my master the king do that which is good in his eyes. Lo, I give thee the oxen also for burnt offerings, and the threshing instruments for wood, and the wheat for the meat offering. And David said to Ornan, nay, but I will verily buy it for the full price. For I will not take that which is thine for Yahweh, nor offer burnt offerings without cost. So David gave to Ornan for the place 600 shekels of gold by weight. And David built there an altar unto Yahweh, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings, and called upon Yahweh. And he answered him from heaven by fire upon the altar of the burnt offering. And Yahweh commanded the angel, and he put up his sword again into the seat thereof. At that time, when David saw that Yahweh had answered him in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite, then he sacrificed there. For the tabernacle of Yahweh, which Moses made in the wilderness, and the altar of the burnt offering were at the season in the high place at Gibeon. But David could not go before it to inquire of Elohim, for he was afraid because of the sword of the angel of Yahweh. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And just ask that this place for the temple would be erected in.
You right? Mm-hmm. And this is the difference also between this time of David's life and the time to come. Because the Almighty named him in Ezekiel, said kingdom. And the prince can go in that door in the east way to sit and eat bread with the Almighty.
Right.
But here in this time of his life, he dared not go, as it said, he dared not go to the house of the Almighty, the temple of the Almighty, because he was afraid of the sword.
That's right.
But when that time comes, he'll be in status to be able to do so. And not only that, and that's good, showing that. And let me show you one other thing about David. And then, Brother Ben, y'all gonna get down? See, there he's looking around.
Yeah, I guess I.
All right. Go to 1 Samuel, 29th chapter. If you read one verse.
1 Samuel.
He's not in Jerusalem. Things are not under his control necessarily. He's not dictating. Here we find mortal enemy. Came out the land of Egypt. They've been the enemy of the Israelites. And look at 1 Samuel 29, verse 9. Look what it said.
And the woman said unto him, behold, 28, I'm sorry. So sad. 29, 1 Samuel chapter 29, verse 9.
Yes.
And Achish answered and said to David, I know that thou art good in my sight, as an angel of Elohim, notwithstanding the princes of the Philistines have said, he shall not go up with the battle.
In other words, King Achish, who was king of the Philistines at the time, he was getting ready to make with the house of Saul and the kingdom of Israel. And David was so fed up with the oppression that Saul put him under, he decided to join under King Achish and fight on behalf of the Philistines. And King Achish, he accepted it. But the rest of the Philistine army was afraid. They thought David was up to some treachery.
Right.
They said, no, he gonna turn on us when they get in the battle. He don't mean you no good. And King Achish said, nah, I've never found fault in this man. This man, since he's been with me, he's been nothing but an angel of Elohim unto me. That's all I've known him about. I dare not think that he would do anything treacherous like that. But King Achish, of course, had to acquiesce to the rest of his people. Right. And that's the only reason why David didn't go to battle against Saul. But he was going to battle against his own brother. Yeah. Israel can do that to each other, you know?
Yeah. No, you see it all through the streets, though.
Ready, Ben? Huh? All right.
All right, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I do have another question. We're going to get to it, but we're going to bring up the brothers in. And our singers. Hallelujah.
Praise God.
Put your hands together one more time. Go ahead, put your hands together. Bring it up, brother Ben, y'all. Hallelujah. Connect.
Praise Yah, Holy Sunday. Yah is communicating. He could be the one he's talking to. Holy Sunday. Yah is communicating. It could be the one he's talking to. For me and holy people that know why you're hiding. Figure out the part for evil. For Yah is the forever. Oh, praise Yah, holy Saturday. Yah is communicating. Yah, holy Saturday. To no Father, we sing on to Yahweh. Yahweh has to give that to and that's Yah. Amen. We said Yah is communicating. You could be the one he's talking to. Talking to. Praise Yah, come and praise Yah, Sunday. You could praise Yah, come and praise Sunday. You could be the you, it could be you, be you. You could be the one he's talking to. You could be the one he's talking to. Could be you talking to. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You go through next.
Both. Doing both.
Which one you want to do first?
Oh.
It don't matter, girl. I'm just telling you.
So I got the head.
You got the ass. Oh, okay.
I got
Okay. He can upgrade this one now. Which one you gonna do? You gonna do that one first?
Yeah.
Last?
yeah.
Ah, come on, Lucy. Oh, it's too complicated.
Stand up,
Stand up.
stand, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Stand up,
Stand up.
stand, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Praise Yah. Yeah. It's the greatest. Know what's going on. Yeah.
Stand up.
Stand, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Stand up,
Stand up.
stand, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Praise Yah. Stand up,
Stand up.
stand, yeah.
Hallelujah.
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 Yeah. Keep me high. Yeah. Keep me happy. Yeah. It's to praise
Stand up.
Thank Yah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Break it down. Ready? Look, I was ready. I was already with her and everything.
Love me, Yahweh. Love me, Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Love me, Yahweh. Love me, Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. There's a day. There's a place. There's a way. Bless me, Yahweh. Bless me, Yahweh. Yahweh. Love me, Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Love me, Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. There's a time. There's a day. There's a place. There's a way. Bless me, Yahweh. Hallelujah, praise Yahweh.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. I have a new song as well. I have not practiced, so I did, but not enough. So y'all willing, I do this the right way. It's called He Lifts Up. Sing down, he lifts, sing down, he lifts up, sing down, he lifts up, sing down, are heavy. See, God, He lifts up when things don't work out. See, God, your esteem is low. See, God, feeling alone. See, God, He lives in the morning. See, God, He's listening in the evening. See God, praise God, He lifts me up. I call upon Him to lift me up. I look to the hills to be lifted up. No matter where I am, He lifts me up. Praise God, He lifts me up. I call upon Him to be lifted up. I look to the hills to be lifted up. No matter where I am, He lifts me up. I messed that all the way up. The storm, seek shine in the day when I cry, yeah. I'ma go, okay, I'ma just stop there. Hallelujah. Cause I done.
You know, we all know you back it up, you know.
Nah, I was way direct.
You could have ad-libbed and rolled on, man. You would have really never known no better.
Nah, because the rest of it don't go with the beat, but I know where I left off at the song, so I'm gonna just go back to where I gets permission, even the storm seeks answer, He lives on and strengthen me, strengthen my soul, though I walk in the midst of trouble, He lives on. Yah will revive, Yah will protect. Nothing goes against Yah's will. He won't have praise. Yah, He lifts me up. I call upon Him to lift me up. I look to the hills to be lifted up. No matter where I am, He lifts me up. Praise Yah, He lifts me up. I call upon Him to lift me up. I look to the hills to be lifted up. No matter where I am, He lifts me up. Praise Yah, He lifts me up. I call upon Him to me up. I call upon Him to lift me up. I look to the hills to be lifted up. No matter where I am, He lifts me up. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. I guess the girl. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I get it from my album. I still gotta set time before I have to teach this to our group. I walk like this, I talk, but I get it from my, but I dance like this, I jam like this, I put you on from my but I cook like this, and I eat like this, was clean like this, and I clean like this. I get it from my but I get it from my yeah, starting of the day time, I get it from my in the night season kicks in, I respect all my elders. I get it from my but I get it from my my nose like this, my lips like this, cheekbones my but I rock my fringes on four corners with a ribbon of blue. I get it from my but I get it from my but the universal laws. I get it from my but the fact I am a holy saint, I get it from my but you ought to stay in my nation where I can be fed up. my Abba. Be humble and show kindness, but never turn the other cheek. I get it from my Abba. I get it from my Abba.
Yeah.
Give thanks and praises for Yahweh leads the way. We're following our Abba. We're following our Abba. We're following our Abba. We're following our Abba. Hey. What time? How much time?
When you done?
How long more way?
When you done?
Okay.
Alright.
Can you do your phone? I don't know you. I mean, I know the code, but your phone so broke.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I need everybody. I haven't had the time to teach it. Come on, lead singer.
Oh yeah, you know, the lead singer is here. Oh, hallelujah. Lead singer is here.
The yellow car.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Praise God.
Praise God.
Praise God.
Praise God.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Magnify. Praise God. Magnify. Praise God. Uplifted. Praise God. Uplifted. Praise God. Uplifted. Praise God. Now it's the greatest. You ain't know. Now it's the greatest. You ain't know. Now it's the greatest. You ain't know. Now it's the greatest. You ain't the greatest. You ain't know. Merciful. God is merciful. God is merciful. God is merciful. Praise, praise, praise God. Praise, praise, praise God. 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 Powerful. Praise God. Powerful. Praise God. Powerful. Praise God. Healer. Praise God. Healer. Praise God. Provider. Praise God. Provider. Praise God. Provider. Praise God. Provider. Praise God. Praise, praise, praise God. Praise, praise, praise God. Praise, praise, praise God. 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 Perfect. Praise God. Praise God. Perfect. Praise God. Righteous. God is righteous. God is the greatest. 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 God is Right here. Thank you. If it let me turn it on, I can. Let me see. Let me. Salute my hallelujah. Salute my hallelujah. Salute. 1, 2, 3. Do you see me? Hallelujah. Praise you, my King. All the testimonies of my heart clean. I look into the mirror and see I'm offspring. Choose my purpose like the artist with the right hand speak. He talks to me, yeah, I hear his voice. When I'm standing straight, y'all help me rejoice. From the inside out, I was destroyed. My King taught me how to tune out the noise. I have many reasons to thank you. Hallelujah. Salute my King. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Salute. Salute. Hallelujah. Salute my King. Hallelujah. Salute my King. Hallelujah. Salute my King. Hallelujah. Salute.
Hallelujah.
Okay. I guess I do this one. I did this one. Oh, wrong one. My bad. Wrong one. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really, from the rising of the sun to the rising of the moon, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the rising of the moon to the rising of the sun, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the new moon to the next new moon, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the first day to the second day, oh, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. Praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the rising of the sun to the rising of the moon, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the new moon to the next new moon, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do, all I wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the rising of the sun to the rising of the sun, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the bitter times to the better times, oh, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the better times to the bitter times, hey, praise my Yahweh. praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. All I really wanna do is praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the rising of the moon to the rising of the sun, praise my Yahweh, praise my Yahweh. From the noonday to the next noonday, praise my Yahweh, praise my the rising of the sun to the rising of the moon, to the rising of the moon, to the rising of the sun, from the new moon to the next new moon. All I really want to do, all I want to do is just praise Him.
Hallelujah. Let's give them wonderful family another round of applause. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High. Angels out here, I'm looking, I see them. I can't help but to bring a question up to the floor. Who else want to come up and give some praise to the Most High Yah? Now, you know you ain't got to be shy. I mean, you might just want to come and say, hallelujah. Hey, I don't know. But I want to at least give you the invitation or the opportunity to come up, say a word, sing a song, do a dance, sing a praise. I don't know. But if anybody wish to come up and do something for the Most High Yah, speak now. Let it be known. I'll wait. I ain't looking at nobody, but I'll wait. I ain't looking at nobody, but I'll wait. Oh, we got one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. I was waiting for that one. Boy. Hallelujah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise the mighty Yahweh. Is that Brother Michael, you coming up? Are you coming up? I know I come. You done got my hopes all high. There it is there. Speak. Don't be talking about that this morning. You say how beautiful it is when you know the Most High Yah and you can ask the question and He answer right away. You be like, "Ooh, it's scary." So you gotta answer. You coming up? The Most High Yah. I guess I did something off the top of the dome. Hallelujah. Woo. Hold on 1 second. Right back. All right, hallelujah. We waiting on Brother Mike to come back in. He got to go grab something. But we're going to get something off the top of the head. Oh, hallelujah. Say, all nations, gather yourselves together and come as one man in the street to hear what thus said Yah as His servants begin to speak. We listen, just don't go the way that we intended them to go. So hallelujah, I give praise, I give thanks to the Most High Yah this day. I thank Yah continuously for my life and what He's able to do for me. And now I begin to share a little something that I come to see. You see, Yahweh mercy endure. See, Yahweh mercy endure forever so much that when you know where He at, He'll shine a light upon you. His mercy endure forever. His mercy endured forever, that it begins to shine a light in you. His mercy endured forever, that, and when things fall away and you don't see no path, you don't see no way there, just know that Yahweh's mercy endured forever. His kindness, sometimes we just don't hear. Sometimes we got so much clogged up in our ears that we don't even care to hear. Sometimes we so shook and far away from what's going on. Life is cloudy and you don't have no way of seeing through the darkness. All you got to do is call on Yah. Let His light shine on you. Open up your heart and let Yahweh come in. Open up your mind. The simplest instructions that a man could do. So how hard is it to honor and love your mother and honor and love your father? Is that a hard task for a man to do? How hard is it for you to treat someone the same way that you want to cherish the woman that you with and to hold her up and to discard some of the things that you may see that may be wrong. But you know, those are the things that you really kind of like about it. You know what I'm saying? How hard is it to do those things? Is it hard? Is it really all that hard to give a little loving kindness, to show a little tender mercy? Is it really that hard to be one? Nah, it really is not. It's not hard at all. So as I begin to lead, I want to leave you with a little something. It's a little math equation. Many life, no matter what you do, you control one thing. And that one thing that you control is all yours. So when something happens and it all goes astray, you really can't point the finger at nobody else because they made you move this way or they made you move that way. You know what I mean? All thing you can do is point the finger at yourself. But that's right. We all know that. So here's your math equation for the day. I want you to take 100 and put it equal, and then I want you to find the word that goes with it. Now, when you find that word that goes with it, you'll understand these words of which I'm saying. No matter what happens in your life, no matter what goes on with you, you are the reason. You are the primary objection or the primary support to what has taken place in your past. Because only you can control it. And like the man said who used to do the forest fires, and the man that said that used to talk about crime, only you can revenge on yourself and beat yourself up. Just do the math problem and claim what's supposed to be yours. Hallelujah. And just so you didn't hear it, that's 100 you see. Out of that 100, put a letter to it. Or better yet, I'll do it the other way for you. Because I'll give you the answer that it would be. What you do is you take attitude, all right? Put equal. And hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all my Hebrew family, are we ready? You gonna go do something too, bro?
I'll try to do something.
Oh, bless it. All right. Hallelujah. Let's get a brother here. And let's get everybody up. Right? Come on up, brother. Hallelujah.
Go to, what you want to do? Which track you play? What you do is look up some guitar. You go on the Bluetooth. Yes, right here. Go to your Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Get your right there. Yep. I'm trying to.
All praise to the mighty God. I'm gonna do something different than I did. I just want to thank the Most High for I want to thank the Creator of heaven, earth, sea, and all that there is for food, for shelter. At least praise the mighty God. Let me try this.
That's right, yeah. Right there.
This is how I feel when I think of the blessings of Yah. You ever had a feeling inside that you didn't know your past? Searching to find the answers for the trouble you try to hide. All you have to do is try. Turn to the for His love. Yahweh's love. Yahweh's love. Yahweh's love is found to the wisdom of Yah. Pray to Him with a submissive heart. Humble yourself, 'cause this could be the start. Time to choose to self, and you wonder how it feels. Yahweh's love.
I'm trying all had the words to ride all the way. Now, I got to keep y'all figured out. Stop thinking about you. Open up your heart and soul. Ask God to take Yahweh's love, Yahweh's love, Yahweh's love, Yahweh's love, Yahweh's love. I always did like that. Praise God. All praise to the mighty God when we yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's give Brother Henry another round of applause. Hallelujah. Hey, that's all we have. Little praise the Most High God. That's what this day is for. It's for us to praise God. That's why He set it up for. All right now. And what you know them Christian guys, you know them brothers like, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Hey, but get ready, y'all. Awesome, hallelujah. Without any further ado, Brother Mike is getting connected up. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Hallelujah.
He's amazing, amazing. Yahweh is amazing, amazing. Wake up in the morning, I follow, take a knee. Set my mind and stay in mind, so I'm kept in perfect peace. Sleep on to Yahweh, Elohim like blood on her feet. Set my foot shall not slip like super glue on bare feet. Teach your wise men and now you shall be increased into every deity. That is the main key. Said I love my Lord, truly He has sent me with everything that cannot exist. I'm taking it for my people and my race for greatly all they receive for me. Not words they trust, but you speak it for me. Make it like what they do not think. Having no sense at all, like the poor man is poverty. Yahweh has spoken, but Yahweh says, which the love of the game, so shall we be in the background of the up as the thing, we get up to the light. It's amazing. Yahweh is amazing. Amazing. But I'm not like to understand. Israel, gonna understand. I know I'm gonna make it, man. With a smile on my face, I never gotta fake it. Then I see some more shit. I even try to bring them in. It's a beautiful thing. Yahweh awaken them. You wake it, never get it. They're gonna keep that hate in there. So my king's words, they be burning and baking, man. Time to turn it up. It's getting hot. Take a picture. There's only one Savior. Say Steve was the victim. But it's taking me out, so how can you say to bring back? Present your DNA, slaying them back to back. These amazing, 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 amazing. Yahweh is amazing, 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 amazing. Yahweh is amazing. Yahweh is amazing. Hallelujah.
Let's give the brother another round of applause. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High Yahweh. Woo, praise Yah. All right now, without any further ado, are y'all ready for spiritual food? Well, put your hands together and let us bring them all right back up. Hallelujah. Well, raise your show.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Excellent job. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're trying to get that amazing out of there for a couple of weeks now. And it's amazing that it happened.
Hallelujah.
And I enjoyed my brother's song. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That was dynamite. That was dynamite. Next thing you know, that. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, toward nah. It went by him. Let it go by him. Let it stay over there. Hallelujah. I was singing, but my sister's not in here to hear it anyway, so I'm not gonna sing it. She ain't gonna sit back down. Oh, look at him. Y'all got him started. Let me. No.
Yeah, Moray, go ahead. You want to do it, you open it up. Need no more curse. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, Moray. Go ahead.
If somebody can find the question.
Oh, we got plenty of daylight. We got plenty of daylight.
No, we don't. Evening coming. They draw us to an end.
About 2 hours.
For me, they look like this. I was in the back. Can I leave it back there?
Don't get nothing back there.
Disappeared on me. Huh?
Something put it to the right of it, all right? Something put it to the right of you, it's over there on the right.
What's that?
That paper that, on your, I thought it was somewhere around there.
These are all notes that I have with something, they just sticking out of my, thing here.
I think how you got to check outside.
It wasn't outside, I had it in here. It wasn't outside, I just put it in the crease of my book, I thought.
Yeah.
And bear with me, I've done this in a while. O Torah, how beautiful. O Torah, wonderful. Balala, O Yah, shall we live? O Torah, how beautiful. O Torah, how wonderful. Badala, O Yah, you give us strength. Cleave unto thee. Cleave unto thee. Cleave unto thee for thy good. O Torah, how beautiful. O Torah, how wonderful. O Torah, how merciful. Badala, O Yah, shall we live? Do it till next month, right?
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Got no singers too. I saw another baby singing.
Hallelujah. Question I had, I think I can remember it. Internet didn't.
Yes, sir. The question was, where does the Japanese, let me read.
There's something about Asian, right?
Asians. It's in Asians. The question is,
Where did the Asians come from?
where do the Asian people come from? And it has Yapites.
Are they Yapites?
Yes.
Meaning descendants of Japheth. Well, they could be descendants of Japheth. They could be descendants of Shem. One thing that we do know, and that even Dr. Jin Lin, I think I'm saying it correct, a noted Chinese scientist named Let me get it. Named Jen did research. Yes, Jen Lee, professor of the Fudan University. And General Jen Lee's research with the Fudan University. So this is not some person that's just a quack person out there, but he is a professor and vice president of the Fudan University. He's a professor at the National Human Genome Center in Fudan's Institute of Genetics in Shanghai. Dr. and Professor Jen Lee, in his research, has concluded that all Asians, definitely all Chinese, stem from the black man. This is what he has concluded, that the earliest, if you want to call them Chinese or Asians, are black. Now, why do I say they could be from Shem or Yafet as we look at geography? Let's go to the book of Genesis.
Yeah. Like that. Genesis.
And as we go there, lo and behold, what reappears?
The paper. Hallelujah.
It was in chapter 10.
Chapter 10, that's where we're going?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Genesis chapter 10.
Verse 1.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, and Medea.
And before we go any further, this is what all researchers and scientists have been trying to solve, this genetic map, this genetic code. Because for a long time, and because of teaching superiority and complexes, what they've been trying to tell people is that black people came from here, and white people came from over there, and some other folks came from over there.
Right.
And I had a brother that I was discussing this with one time, because he had heard it. It was a popular thing taught among scientists, and it was a popular thing taught amongst early Christian scientists. You'll understand why in a minute. But like I asked people, and then we talked about, and we came to find out, remember we came, and our illustrious elder, he brought it to our attention. Many people were shocked when we said, and we taught him, we said, well, what was your bet? He was black.
Yes, sir.
Many people said, oh, that came black. Yes, he was black.
Black.
How could he not be black?
Right.
If his father Noah was black, he was black. And his brothers, they too were black. Noah didn't give birth to the black race, then the white race, and then the red race. All his sons looked like him in their inception, meaning they were black. The Almighty graced us by the way of the elder when he brought back to us in the next few weeks somebody called the what? That's right, good old Cheddar Man.
First European black man.
First European.
First European.
That all Europeans, when the researchers brought him out, the Europeans over there, they were marching. This when they brought him out. They was over there marching, the white Aryans and superiorities. They was over there marching and promulgating their superiority. And the researchers, they said, well, we got something we want to unveil right around now. And they was outside marching and happy to be European, all excited. And they said, we want to unveil something. We want to show you the oldest living European we have found. They took the thing off the bus, and the white people went for that. Because he was darker than me. Look up Cheddar Man.
Yeah. Blue eyes, straight
He's
hair.
darker than me. He's a black man with long, straight hair. They said,
Blue eyes.
and they told them people, they said, this your dad, this be your daddy.
All right.
Them white folks, they was old. They started crying. Women started crying. That's just me, your daddy. We know for sure he is the oldest living relative. Now, even if you find one older than him, guess what he gonna look like? Hello? He might be jet black. They'll really be upset then. Huh? And we know that this could only be the lineage going by scripture and bringing it back to scripture back. Direction did they go? See, that's why everything, what we said, and today still is the land of Canaan.
Yes, sir.
That's why the Almighty said it's the glory of all things. That it always was. That's why he told the sons of Israel, when I made man and gave man all of his territories, I did so with the sons and daughters of Israel in mind when yet you was even a people.
All right.
This always been the glory.
Hallelujah.
That's why men have always fought over it. Because they know what it is. Muslims have fought over it. Christians have fought over it. Moors have crusaded through it. French have went through it. Everybody have went through it because they understand and know what this is. This is the center. We have a center point. We have a point of reference. Stand that Japheth, once he began his lineage, what happened?
The sons of Japheth, Gomer,
Gomer,
Magog,
Magog,
Medea,
Madi,
Yavan,
Yavan,
and Tubal,
Tubal,
and Meshach,
Meshach,
and Tyrus,
Tidras,
and the sons of Gomer, Askenaz, and Riphathah, and Togarmah, and the sons of Yavan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dalanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided.
Was the isles of the Gentiles divided?
In their tongues.
In their tongues?
In their lands.
Their land?
Everyone after his tongue, after their families, in their nation.
And from point of reference, we know that this isle of the Gentiles, keep reading.
And Cush begot Nimrod.
Mm-hmm.
And he began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said.
Did you read 6th verse? Thought you skipped over that.
Nope. Oh, yep. Yes, did. Skipped over all of it. Still come back. Verse 6. And the sons of Ham,
Mm-hmm.
Cush,
Yes.
and Mizraim.
Ham, and not ham, like spam, not ham like the meat, but it actually should be pronounced Cam, like a spelled KH or CH, Cam. Its original pronunciation is Cam, and it means, so the Kemetic people were people that settled in the region that was tropical. Well, that meant from Center Point that they went further south. Let's go to the next group. We read all the sons of Ham all the way down to 20. Let's go to 21.
Hallelujah. Unto Shem, also the father of all the children of Eber,
Of Eber.
the brother of Japheth,
Yes.
the elder. Even to him were children born.
Mm-hmm.
The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, Arphax, Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, and Gaither, and Maj, and Arphas, and Arphaxad begot Salah, and Salah.
That's good. Now, the children of Shem, they did not go center of point. When you study center of point, they won't be going west. Nobody migrated west as you read this and know where center is. So they went what? They became the children of what?
Another east.
Well, nobody really made that move. Do I say now? You say, well, what does that got to do with anything? Well, we see Japheth here. But this is the start of man migrating. Man keeps migrating. That man started to migrate. Yavan, Tarshish, Kittim. These are owls. You're talking about the Ionians. You're talking about Greeks. Man, to keep breaking off. Now, what does that mean? Why do I say possibly early Asians can be from the lineage of Japheth? Because when you go north and you keep going north, you get into places what is now like modern day Germany, modern day. Can't get no more north than that, just about, unless you want to hit the top, north. But what else is north? Because now, because their neighbors' geography.
Yeah, they changed the
You in Russia, that's why some Russians, you see them,
Right.
you say, man, what them? That's a Russian. Because their eyes is just as tight. And that's a whole nother hit. On the new moon, we're going to go through that. Because that have everything to do with the early Khazar and all that. So we're going to go through that on the new moon.
Hallelujah.
Which will be coming up sometime in the next week or so.
Yes, sir.
But these two in landmass and geography, they're tied. And so the family broke loose and migrated. And another family broke loose. He didn't just stop at a certain place, say this far enough. Now this family broke off from this family. And they broke off from this family. And even going east, that would take you into what they call, because you have what they call east.
Northeast.
Far east.
Far east. And that's what they've already referred to China, Japan.
It's the far east.
Far east. Because you went as far east as you can before you start coming back around and saying this is coming back west. It's always been considered the far east. That's where Alexander was not able to go. He was not able to go to the far east. He went into Indochina, but the Himalayan to where he eventually died in Babylon. But far east in his day as he knew. And all the people he encountered was what they would call, and they won't tell the truth, he was what they would call olive skin. As if he had been out in the sun tanning. So this, because of the proximity that these two as land masses can eventually come together, these are from Eastern Africa. That's what his research has concluded. That Eastern Africa migrated out of what you know today, what we know today as Africa. Because back then it wasn't called Africa.
That's right. From the land of the black.
It was called the East.
And that's why a lot of them migrated back.
And migrated back. They could come. That's why they knew that. They could go. They could come. They had already mapped that. because they already had done this. So, because you have northern China, southern China.
Yes, sir.
You have the northern province, the southern province. That's why the yellow emperor, acupressure, treating diseases. The yellow emperor, he is noted. This is what I know. This is what's proven. This is what have the sages, what they call an elders. And on that wall, that Moses are the 7 sages, and they range. And the darkest of them, which means the start of them, is a jet black figure. And then you see them get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. This is their history, that they know that the very first person that they can attribute the martial arts that they have today coming to them is from a black man. Now, I'll tell you who that black man is. He's an Indonesian prince who gave up being a prince and didn't want the kingship. And his name loosely, he was called Bahuda Rama. Bahuda Rama. You know him today as it made out of dark and blackened material.
Right.
All the original ones. Yeah. All the most expensive ones. Because this black man came out of Indochina, went into mainland China, southern China, and he brought them the animal forms. He strengthened the Shaolin monks. He showed them how to fight off their temples from the emperors and the invaders. He did this for them. So they learned everything they got from him. Henceforth, that's why they told Bruce Lee, 2 people we deny you to teach as you come to America. We deny you whites because they will corrupt what we have. And we deny you to teach blacks because the truth of the matter is they will excel because this is where it came from.
Right.
They know their origins. B, the possibility is they could be from migration from the seed of Shem, who migrated far east, from the Shem of Japheth, who once he went north, middle. Now, I don't make up nothing. I make the sense of things. So I'm not gonna tell you, yeah, well, this is them right here. Like some people do, this them, that's them, yeah, that's them right there. But I do know by studying geography.
At one time, years ago, when I was in geography, they teach you that it used to be called like Asia, but you had the majority of all that land was Asia, and then you had Eurasia, which Europe was a small part of that continent.
Yep.
And then you had Europe. You had Eurasia, and then you had Asia.
Yes.
Then they started separating, dividing.
Yes, sir.
But majority of that was all Asia.
Yes, sir. That's why Genghis Khan was able to go into Europe.
Genghis Khan, yep.
And conquer.
Yep.
And like I said, that's why you see some Russians to this day.
Right.
And they have what you want to say, Chinese.
Right. Maybe Korean.
Yeah, all that.
Right,
because they want people, because even when they settled there,
yep.
See, even when they settled there from China, Japan is an island. And went to Japan and settled Japan. Okinawa is an island in Japan. Vietnam,
yeah.
That was a breakoff. Korea, that was a breakoff. They just, like the Almighty said, from there,
yeah.
They white, they yellow. Nowhere does it speak like that in Scripture. The Creator said people are known by what? Read that again.
By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their land, everyone after his tongue,
after his tongue,
and after their family,
after their family,
in their nation.
in their nations. Because these are the characteristics that make up a people. Because it can change. This is what made a Choctaw and not a Sioux.
Hallelujah.
May have all stemmed from one. There was variations. Same with us. Nothing wrong. Well, I'm not offended by that.
Hallelujah.
Because in Hebrew, they're rendering where we say us, but we say our shalom. Because shalom is how we say it with our dialect from our tongue. Salam is how they say it in Arabic from their tongue. But we both saying as-salam alaikum or as-salam alaikum.
Right.
Peace be unto you. And the proper response is alaikum as-salam or alaikum as-shalom. Peace be back to you. It's just a matter of dialect.
There's the word brother. They say it a little
Just that few, and all our words come across. That's why Brother Dawid, that is a linguist, a multi-linguist. That's what he told me. He said, man, you get one. He said, you get Arabic, you got Hebrew. You get Hebrew, you got Arabic. Because I marveled at him that he could speak 7 languages that he learned all on his own.
Yeah.
But he said, you get the one, you got the other. You just find the closest one next to it. And it's like domino. And that's why at one point, then we're going to adjourn, but go to Genesis. Now you understand what the Almighty meant. Go to Genesis 11.
Hallelujah.
Now I give you a picture. And know that this migration is great in the earth.
First verse,
Mm-hmm.
Genesis language and of one speech. It came to pass, and it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
See, the scriptures, like I told you, it's a microcosm. So it's just keeping us close to home. It's a micro, but it's not the whole thing, but it's keeping us to what's relevant. And this is relevant. But man is still branching out. And the whole earth was of one what? Language?
Of one language and of one speech.
I mean, a few words. And it says a few words. So it wasn't a lot of words. But now as this goes on, men develop their own languages still. And languages keep breaking off. And they develop with the people. No different than what we're doing today. Everybody come up with their own slang. What's up, cuz? I don't know what they're saying. That's why I always have to refer to my son. What y'all saying today? You know? You know, he told me one day, you don't want none of this smoke. I said, what smoke? What you smoking? You know? Then he explained to me what smoke was. I said, okay. I thought he was talking about some of that. Y'all know me, I'm getting ready to hit the trigger. I said, boy, you not in here. I said, oh, that ain't nothing. We used to say you don't want none of this heat. That's what we said. So let me get my heater. We knew when somebody said get their heater, I'm going to try to get my heater. That meant disperse. You stay there if you want to. He said, I'm going to get my heater. That meant disperse. And he's coming back with a cannon. Now they're starting to say cuz again.
Yeah.
Like we was saying cuz in the 80s. Chief. Get out of here. But people develop their own language. Down south. Up north. Want a soda?
Yeah.
Up north, you want a pop?
In between the soda pop.
In between the soda pop. So it's where you go. You can be from the same family and come up north and you go back down to see your kindred down south. You like, what they saying? And you need somebody from down south to translate what they saying. And them your people. Cause you be there like, huh? Yeah. I want, yeah, no, man. Oh, Yeah, I understand. Don't know a word they done said. So yeah. So I hope that answered it because they could be from Yefet and they could be from Shem when you rely on study and you understand geography and migration and it's still going with scriptures, then you can see how both of them can come into play. But one that can't be, I can say emphatically, is from Ham, south, which would take him out the way. And that's why Dr. Jen Lee, as I close again, said that the early Asian Chinese was of Eastern African origin. Now, they ain't gonna want to hear you say that. But no, his daddy was, but he was. His first father was.
James Brown.
You know, and he found it out when Jesse Owen went over there. Ran every German he had, jumped farther than every German he had. I just ain't meeting with him. And stomped out like a little spoiled child. Jesse put in the shine. Citizens started not buying that superiority stuff. We can't be too superior. The black man come over here whooping us like this. We can't even catch him.
Right.
Hey, we can't be too superior. Huh? Then Jack Johnson went over there and beat the mess out of Max Mellon.
Oh, yeah.
It's over now.
Oh, man.
He beat him to a bloody pulp. Then on top of that, you throw that the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh, man.
Never lost a single bomber with inferior equipment to the German fighters. And they lost not one single bomber. When the white bombers and jet fighters was escorting them, they lost half of their fleet every time out. And the Tuskegee Airmen is recorded in history, this is a historical fact, that they lost not a single bomber with inferior airplanes, slower, not as much ammunition. And they took them in and brought them home safely every single mission. You just had the last great Tuskegee Airman die. He lived right here in Cincinnati.
Yes, he did.
The oldest one. Was he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Just
was.
had a great national treasure amongst Israel die that had all this information. And they lost not a single bomber. As I told the brothers on the phone today as we was talking, there could not be no United States without the black man. The one for making the black man able to go out west was called the Buffalo Soldier.
Yes, sir.
Before him, every campaign they went out west on, Comanche, Apache, Navajo, beat them like they stole something. They got the brothers, that regiment of brothers, and formed the Black Buffalo Soldier Regiment, and they went out there and cleared house.
Yes, they did.
They just said, we have never seen a warrior like this warrior. He's the fiercest, most relentless warrior we've ever faced. And they were talking about them brothers, them Buffalo Soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
That went out there and cleared house.
No joke.
So you don't have no monument called this where all the black soldiers fell. But you do have a monument to Custer and where he made his last stand. Huh? They got a big monument where Custer, but they ain't got one for the brother. Why? Because the brother went out there and didn't put in work. You're going, I don't know where you're going, but you're getting out of here. And that allowed them to go west, to move west into the western frontier.
Yes, sir.
Before then, that wasn't happening. White folks getting tore up, healed the heart. Y'all all right?
Sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Y'all enjoy yourself?
Hallelujah.
We'll give y'all a round of applause. When they open it, you ain't that. We're gonna chop y'all in the next week. Now, but you know, and the feats that some of our people did in closing are great. That's why I look in like Professor V and Dr. Mongji who came to the United States, and on purpose, they went and found blacks. Professor V. Vespasian, he came from Asia and he went to Harlem. He went to New York and he sought out where the blacks, he sought out where there were blacks, and he taught Moses Powell. But let me tell you something, there is a history of blacks that before even Bruce Lee was doing what he came here and did, they had been doing it. And they never got the credit because of racism, Jim Crow, and everything. They never got the credit. I did Bruce Lee. And this is factual. And half of the room said he won. The other half said you might be able to give this fight to Bruce. And the other third that was there, let me say a third, and the other third that was there said, we don't know who won. So we say it was a draw. So all this stuff about, and like I said, no slight, I'm not slighting him. I'm only establishing what's true so that you can't slight this black man who was just as talented, if not more talented than he was. Because if we don't start telling our own story, nobody is going to tell it for us. And you have men, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, you have men that was running around noted for doing the one-inch punch, kicks, everything that he came here and started doing, they was already doing. And that's why Professor Vespasian said, that's where I'm going. I'm going to New York, where the niggers are at. Negroes. Because he wasn't crazy. But where the Negroes is at. And that's who became his students. The school he opened up, that's who was in school. He did not train whites. He gave birth to Dr. Moses Powell, one of the greatest, and I can teach his son, one of the greatest practitioners that taught all, that's responsible for teachers today, all up and down the East Coast, New York, Chicago, Connecticut, New Hampshire. Because Dr. V acknowledged this goes back to, this is y'all. I'm helping you to reclaim what was rightfully yours.
Yeah.
You Israel. You Israel.
Hallelujah.
You that have power with man and Elohim and have prevailed.
Yes, sir.
Let's start living like it. Hallelujah. Any final comments as we close out?
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
I was on the strangest daughter, so but didn't want to embarrass her, kind of did. And yeah, she'll be the graduation is on Monday.
Okay.
And I just want to thank y'all. She's an honor student. She's always done really, really well in school, and really works really hard. So this is a huge chapter for her to close in, and y'all will, she can go off to college, Eastern Michigan University. But y'all, it's good, and he's blessed her to get through this piece.
Hallelujah. She loved it all, and not about the only thing we got in common then is that we went to performing arts. She stopped right there. They said, you gonna graduate? I do the hell of the home. That's how it is, G. I was shocked when I got my slip. It got the diploma in it. Are you graduate? Woo! But hallelujah. Apply yourself, keep on going. Don't let nothing derail you. Walk with the Almighty, keep applying yourself, and wonderful things are in your sight. Stay rooted, stay jokers alone. Build your kingdom. Leave them jokers alone till you find the king. Ain't often you gonna find no frog and kiss him and he gonna become a prince. Yes, sir. I don't know. Wait, hold. What you done? I'm sorry. No, ma'am. I thought you had something else.
Well, I was just gonna say she does. I do thank God because she has a sense of Yah within her as well, and she teaches Yah. And I'm very proud of
of Black Earth, and she's still a teenager though, you know.
Yes.
So,
Right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
so she's still
Yeah.
teenager stuff,
Yeah.
you know. But she is definitely a daughter of Zion, and I thank God for His mercy, and I ask y'all to bless her journey going forward, because she's a hard worker, and I pray that you reward her.
Guess what?
What?
I knew it when she was.
All honor, all glory, all praise go to the Holy One and the name alone of God by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shalom class.
Shalom.
As it says in the scriptures, as in Proverbs, that give correction to a wise man, he'll love you, give correction to a fool, he'll hate you. This extension of correction is to everybody that's inside the class, whether you may be aware of it or not. But all of us who have children, and this is mainly for security purposes. I'm unsure as to why anybody goes in or outside. There was a question posed last week as to what the Sabbath day means to everybody. I don't understand what everybody's uploaded as far as the Sabbath day is concerned. But, this is a day that's holy unto the Most High. And if we regard it to be holy, then with the servant of the Almighty that's standing up speaking, that will be taken into great consideration. Whatever it is, any outside activities that's going on should be put on pause until the sun is completely or entirely down. Concerning children that will move in or outside of the building and just go sit in cars. Again, children, your lives are under scrutiny as well as the adults. When we were brought over here in slave ships, the children were not exiled from that punishment. Please remember to take the Sabbath day seriously, because this is the day of our Elohim, our Savior, our King. So with me saying that, it's not only that 2 or 3 more years, I don't know who all self print. We all have access to printers. Please, everybody, let's put them on. When I say this to you, this is a correction not only to any specific individual, but everybody that's hearing my voice. Again, I'm security. I'm Maury Aaron security. We haven't sat down and do extensive protocol as to what it is that I'm supposed to point out, but as your brother, these are things that I'm saying because these are things that I've noticed. We have sidebar conversation. I don't know what it is that y'all going through, if y'all trying to uplift each other's spirits. Whatever the case may be, it's not more important than what the Almighty has going on. So with that being said, let's show our utmost respect for what the Almighty is going to say coming forth from His servant. If you find me to be outside of what it is that I'm saying, I'm always willing and open for correction. But remember, harsh words stir up strife, but a soft answer turns away wrath. And there's always a way in which something can be said to where it can be received appropriately or received in general. But if we all fear the Almighty the way that we say we do these things that I'm saying to you will be taken to heart, please consider. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Last week.
You don't see your hand.
I don't see a hand.
I don't see.
All right, I don't see a hand.
Okay. But I'm gonna speak out to you. Get a day go out. And I'm gonna speak back to the mic.
Kennedy out there.
Hallelujah.
You take him behind the woodshed after we get done.
Y'all don't need nobody to fight.
There's not a fight.
I said, y'all don't need nobody to fight.
Now, I definitely don't see this hand. So we get ready to adjourn. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. Credit where it is, dude. I've been, my little kitty gardener over here, Tylee Fire. Y'all know him as Fire. Yes, he will be going to the 1st grade.
All right.
So I had to give him that big shout out as well. We got a house full of kids going to graduating from college, graduating. Nephews leaving college. He was a sprinter. He graduated college. Got nephews graduating high school. But my man Fire here, congratulations, take his hat off. That'll be on Friday the 29th. We're going to have a drive-through ceremony for him up in South Avondale. So hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right. All right. My man. They say keep it up. Keep it up. Stay with Abba, stay with him, lean on them. Listen to them. Keep it up. Don't let nobody derail you. Go along. You see them, leave them alone. You stay where you're supposed to be. Hallelujah.
Everybody else going on, let me go on. Praise be to God.
All right.
I give thanks to y'all for blessing me to be able to homeschool my children. I want to say for the last 6 years, I believe it's been.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
So my oldest, this will be his last month. He graduated from being homeschooled.
All right.
Hallelujah.
All right.
To be able to do it and to have had people from like the Board of Education guide me and tell me, what I need to do now and things like that as far as him being accepted in like colleges and places of employment.
They gonna work on it.
From the internet, Moray, great class, wonderful class.
Hallelujah.
Thank you for answering the question. I understand. Thank you for your comment.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Great job. I want to thank everybody for your undivided attention and your patience, your participation, input. I thoroughly enjoyed myself today being amongst you. Been a pleasure. And I pray that we receive something, whatever it was the Almighty endeavored for us to hear. Each and every one of us, it might have been different, but I pray that we receive something and your time here was worth your while. And you were blessed by the Almighty. And we spent this day not in vain, but we grew. And we were better going out than we were coming in. And as long as that was accomplished, and if that was accomplished, then all praise be to the Creator. Everything correct and right, you can credit to Him. And anything wrong and erroneous, you can lay that to me. For Yah is righteous all the time. Hallelujah.
One last thing, Moray.
Yes.
One last thing, what almost slipped my mind. Almost forgot. Y'all, we got a young brother up in here, and he does some acting. And the brother you can see him on YouTube. His little boy is a show called Alternative Teachers. And I believe his mom is in a show that's titled The Community. There's a little brother Aaron up there, he did his debut, I think it was last week.
All right.
A week before last, and it was a real great thing to see. So, go on YouTube, show your support for our little brothers and sisters that's out here, and they trying to put forth something positive and do some positive work in the community.
All right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Got young Denzel Washington in the middle, huh? Right. Hallelujah. Well, without any further delay, let us stand so we can accomplish. You ready?
Yes.
All right.
Shema.
Shema.
Israel.
Israel.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akah.
Akah. Here is
Israel.
Yahweh Elohim. Yahweh is one. Yevarakah. Yahweh Yismeraka Yehi Yahweh. Paneleka Wataneka. Yesayahweh Paneleka. Wayasin Leka Shalom.
Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and give gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance and give us peace. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yahweh.
Right. Hallelujah.